Welcome to the Typical Sportsman Podcast. I am here in Springfield, Missouri, and we are recording with the Nomadic Outdoorsman. The worst part of Dan and Sam.
Yeah, that's right.
He is only the second, he's the second best part of Dan and Sam, but that makes him the worst. We are Dan and Sam, Nomadic Outdoorsman, Dan Mathews, not the owners of Mathews Archery. We've already covered that. He's not a famous singer with Shay. Dan Mathews, we are Dan and Sam, and we just pretty much talk about everything and have a good time talking about it. This episode is brought to you by my good friends over at ScentLock. I'll tell you, as whitetail hunters, we know the importance of scent control. What sets ScentLock apart when it comes to whitetail hunting is activated carbon in all of their clothing, which gives you maximum odor absorption. So as you get ready for the fall, make sure and check out ScentLock. And I would highly encourage you to check out their BE1 series, which is the Bow Hunter Elite series. It is a toolkit built for bow hunters by bow hunters. Go check out ScentLock and the BE1 series. Let's jump in with Mr. Dan Mathews.
For the true sportsman, it's more than a pastime. It's a way of life. Embrace the lifestyle of hunting, fishing, and the thrill of the wild. Live the life. Be typical.
You all know I love arrows, so therefore I love vanes, and I love trying different vane configurations. I love seeing how they fly, how they tune, how quiet they are. Boning Archery makes, in my opinion, the greatest selection of vanes known to man, and for good reason, because they've been making vanes longer than your grandpapa's been alive. They make a phenomenal line of vanes. So whatever you're trying to do, whether you're wanting to shoot paper, 3D, or you're wanting to go out and hunt, whether you're shooting a crossbow, compound, they've got vanes for you. Now, they just recently introduced, in my opinion, the greatest vane of all time, which is the Alpha. It's an all-new design. It's made out of the same stiff material that my previous favorite vane, the Heat vane, is made out of, so it's whisper quiet. It stabilizes your arrow very well, and it's just an all-around great vane. Now, they also just introduced the Atlas, which is the same shape and profile as the Alpha, out of the same classic blazer material. Guys, here's what I'll tell you. Boning simply makes really good products. If you are an arrow tinkerer like me and you want to try a bunch of different vanes, I would highly encourage you to go try out Boning. Some of my favorite vanes are definitely the Heat vane. The Heat vane in a 4-fletch is almost unbeatable, just barely outdone by an Alpha vane in a 3-fletch with a hardcore left helical. That's just money every single time. Guys, go check out Boning, whether you're looking for, longer 4-inch vanes, whether you're looking for micro vanes, they've got something for you, and I promise you it's going to perform every time. Mr. Dan Mathews, owner of Mathews Archery.
That would be so I actually looked into it because I'm from Wisconsin.
So you don't get naming rights?
No.
Dang.
I was so excited. I was like, I'm from Wisconsin, both spelled with one T. And then come to find out that was the dude's first name that started it.
Yeah, you're not getting in on that deal.
No, not at all.
Dan Mathews, the Dan part of Dan and Shay. Nope.
Close.
Funny story, I actually went to high school with Dan. From Dan and Shay.
Dude, is everybody
No. I went to high school with Shay, not Dan. Sorry. Said that backwards.
Is everybody from your hometown?
Yeah. No, I actually grew up in Northwest Arkansas. We were talking before, grew up in the same town as Clay Newcomb, Shay Mooney from Dan and Shay. And now I live in Wichita. And we were just talking, before this, it's funny how truly small the outdoor industry is. It's like, it's such a tight-knit group of people,
Yeah.
So then I moved to Wichita, and it's like the director of Under Armour Hunt and Fish is there. And I actually just found out, I didn't know this part. Coming back from the NWTF, somebody was like, decked in Sitka. And so one of my other buddies was like, I'm guessing you're leaving the show. And he's like, yep, I'm on my way back home. And he's like, why are you getting on a plane to Wichita? And he's like, I live in Wichita. He's like, oh, cool, man. Like, you just attending the show? He's like, no, I'm the marketing director for Sitka. So he lives there too. It's like, what? Like, how did all this happen?
I mean, it's a good central location.
Yeah, you can be anywhere you need to pretty quick.
It seems like it's a little bit sketchy. We were just at the Shields in Wichita on the way back from a pheasant hunt, and we helped the cops get this guy who stole a bunch of ammo.
Nice. You tase him on the way out?
No,
God.
we saw him like peeking in people's car windows. And when we were checking out, we were talking to the cashier, and I'm like, dude, what's all these cops for? She goes, the guy just stole a bunch of ammo. And so we go out to our truck. We see these people we see this guy peeking in car windows. And my buddy goes, that's not sketchy at all. I look over and I'm like, oh, dude, we gotta do something. So my buddy runs in, tells the cops, they all come out. This guy bolts, and he was so much faster than the Wichita Police Department. Like, he was gone. So I'm like, get in. So we throw everything in the truck like as fast as we can. I take off. I'm like, we're going to go catch this guy. Well, we see all these cops that are basically at a fast walk at this point, and that guy's still running across the parking lot. And so I'm like, do we go after him? They're like, no, go pick up the cops. So I fly up to these cops who are in like V formation, speed walking through the parking lot.
Like, hey, you're not the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, I know.
Catch this guy.
Exactly. I'm like, what do you guys do? Like, you guys got to have some type of PT. Like, if he burned you before you even exited the parking lot. So anyways, I go, you guys need a ride? They're like, yeah. So all my buddies bail out. All the cops jump in. I've got a pistol like underneath my steering wheel. I've got one in the back of my seat. My buddy's got his pistol in the front, in the passenger side door. And I go, hey, just a heads up, I'm a good dude, but there's a whole lot of loaded guns in here. They're like, we don't care. Go, go, go. So anyways, we fly up and they jump out and they catch him.
What you should have done, you should have just looked at him and said, hey, we're part of the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like, you're screwed, buddy.
Dude, I was ready for anything because the guy kept his hand in his pocket as he's sprinting.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, dude, he's got something.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking like, I had my coyote setups with me because we coyote hunted out there. And I'm like, dude, if I have to like take this guy down, I will.
The reason that's so funny to me is I know several people that work for the Wichita Police Department. So I'm just going to like text them after we're done and be like, dude, I heard on a podcast just now that you guys are all slow and fat. Like, I heard, you guys don't work out at all, right?
I did a couple of videos and I'm like, they're going to hate me if they see this. I'm like, hey, Wichita PD, like, good job getting him, but you guys need to do some cardio.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Anyways,
I'll accept my check in the mail.
I really want the body cam footage. That's what I want.
Yeah.
They probably, I didn't go all fangirl, like being a wannabe police officer in there. But I'm like, man, it would have been fun to be that guy and just screw with them. Like, yeah, I thought about joining the force.
Dude. So I just left the Bass Pro headquarters, and that place is like Fort Knox, dude. You get to like the security tower and they ask you who you're there to meet. Then you go in, they take your picture, put on a badge. And they're like, so what was your name, sir? And I'm like, Little Johnny Morris. Like, you don't know who my dad is? And they're like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, seriously? You're gonna try and pin me down like this? I'm like, did Bill tell you to play this joke on me? And they were like, I don't. And it's funny. The guy I was supposed to be meeting comes out. He's like, dude, I knew as soon as they said Lil Johnny Morris, I knew it was stinking you. I'm like,
that's funny, dude.
I'm like, here I am.
Dude, you look like you could be John Paul's cousin or something.
Maybe I am. I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe I am the Mathews that started Mathews Archery.
Oh, snap, dude. Are you sponsored by Mathews?
No.
Why not?
Dude,
I feel like it has to happen.
I've tried. I shoot a Mathews now. Like, I've shot a couple different bows, but I'm just like, I feel like I should be shooting a Mathews.
We need to make this happen, dude.
I'm all about it.
Like, maybe you'll even like get so high up there, like you inherit the company or something. Just trick them into thinking that you are the heir to the throne.
No, it was actually his last name, but he started going by it because everybody called him it. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
I like this plan. I think we need to dive more into this later.
Joel Maxfield, we're coming for you. So, jokingly, I introduced you the wrong way. Dan, part of We Are Dan and Sam. Not the better part of We Are Dan and Sam.
Not by a long shot.
Give us an introduction to yourself, man.
Yeah, so I'm Dan Mathews, father of 3, husband to Samantha. Just a normal guy, but we happen to do social media. So we've got the We Are Dan and Sam platforms on everything: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I think she even has Pinterest, but I don't know who goes on there for short form content.
My daughter, because we won't let her have any other social
Oh,
media.
that's probably healthy. That's a good call.
That's like, I'm like, I remember the first time, like, what are you watching? You know, thinking like she had gotten YouTube Shorts or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, Pinterest, the only app you let me have. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But yeah, we started doing that like 5 years ago. And then I started the Nomadic Outdoorsman podcast, and my wife got me onto TikTok just to kind of promote the podcast. And then it turned into social media full time. And I did the podcast, I think, for like 250 episodes, and then shut it down just because things were crazy busy. We had another kid. And so, yeah, just normal people who are online and have a big following, which is still weird.
Yeah. I will say this is the first ever episode guest that my wife turned me on to.
Oh, sweet.
Like, it's funny that like I'll come home and be like, babe, I just recorded with Chuck Adams. And she's like, okay, cool. And I'm like, that's my stinking idol.
Yeah.
Like that's the legend, Chrissy. And she's like, okay, great. Yeah, but with you guys, she, you know, started watching you guys, and she's like, hey, I follow this vlog. And they're Christians, and they just helped start a church. And anybody that listens knows we're church planters. And she's like, and he's like some big outdoorsman. He's got the Nomadic Outdoorsman. I'm like, huh. And so I started looking, and I'm like, well, that's really cool, man. And then saw you guys coming off the NWTF show, and I'm like, I never reached out. And so I'm excited to be here, man. Thank you first off for hosting me in your home. Your home. Your wife gave you your own separate home.
Yeah.
It tells me you're annoying.
Dude, I've got a bed set up there. It's super comfy. Like, I can just stay out of her hair.
Yeah, people were like, I was telling you I just built a bow shop, and people were like, oh, you're just trying to escape your wife. And I'm like, no, she makes me come out here.
Yeah.
She's like, just go to the bow shop. Like, if a sports game's on, she's like, why don't you go out there so you can yell and be loud?
Yeah. It's kind of the perfect spot to like just have guys.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a lot of rowdy friends. And so it's like, man, we come out here and
you're not a Missouri Tiger fan, are you?
No.
Good.
See, here's the thing. Being farther south, I grew up in Wisconsin, and like college football is kind of a thing, but not really.
Right.
I mean, everybody is Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
And so coming down here, everyone's like, who's your team? I'm like, the Packers. They're like, who's your college team?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even really have one.
Yeah.
And people don't like that answer at all. So I should probably pick a college football team at some point.
The Razorbacks, Arkansas Razorbacks.
I don't know. I know a couple Razorback fans.
Woo pig.
If
you know a couple Razorback fans, you know a couple good Christian people.
That's
what I'll tell you.
Absolutely true. I haven't met any Razorback fans that I don't know through church somehow.
Oh, I can introduce you to some that you'd be like, dude, you ain't never had no Jesus on you in your life. That is funny, man. So do you ever feel like, and this might be a much too long of a question to unpack. Do you ever feel like, I feel like you guys exist in two different media worlds, if that makes sense. Do you ever feel like it's kind of just completely like separate, two different worlds of like Dan and Sam, and then Nomadic Outdoorsman, and, you know, speaking to families and parents, and then nitty gritty hunting? You know what I mean?
I kind of do, but there's so much crossover between the two, because like we do content with each other for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we always joke that when I'm in the We Are Dan and Sam videos, they do better than if it's just her. And she always jokes that the Nomadic Outdoorsman stuff does better when she's in them and not just me.
That makes sense.
But it's like making it, a lot of it has to do with marriage. It has to do with everyday life, issues that come up, celebrations that come up. And so even though it's different or appealing to a different audience, I feel like there's so much crossover that it's not even a big deal.
I thought the reel at NWTF was hilarious when your wife's more famous at the hunting show than you are.
It's so annoying, man, being at a show where it's all hunters and people are coming up and recognizing her. But I mean, I get it. That platform is 10x what mine is.
Yeah.
And so it's not a big deal. Now, I did have a win. I wasn't there to experience it, but she was shopping at Target in her element, at her own little NWTF, right?
Yeah.
And this couple came up to her and they go, "Hey, I don't mean to bother you, but are you from the Nomadic Outdoorsman?
Yes.
And I'm like, she came home and told me, and I was like, oh, finally, just one. That's all I needed. I just needed one to boost my confidence,
dude.
So,
So we were at the RMS Gear in Denver, which is Tom Clum's store there, and we were going to do some shooting with him. And on our way in, this guy stops me. He's like, "Oh my gosh, Jim, such a big fan. Can I have your autograph?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." And my oldest kid, she's was probably 13 at the time, and there was always this big disconnect of like, I know Dad goes to all these shows, and like I know Dad, is always doing stuff and out there. But for the first time ever, she was like, people know you? And that was the first time that had ever happened in my lifetime. But I'm like, sweetheart, I can't hardly get through a Bass Pro without singing. I can't even hardly go no more, Again, first time it had ever happened. But to her, I'm like, oh, baby, like, dude, I leave Bass Pro with carpal tunnel, They're always stopping me and asking me.
I had to turn down a red carpet experience
I'm
just
like,
yesterday.
She's all about Taylor Swift. I'm like, sweetheart, you know how many times I had to turn down Taylor Swift to come on the show or whatever? I'm like, I can't, I don't have the bandwidth. She's like, what? Yeah, it's funny, dude.
It's fun having kids that, like, my kids are 9, almost 8, and then newborn. But like my 9-year-old, he's getting really big into Dude Perfect.
Yeah.
Super excited about that. Watches Mr. Beast, and he's just like, you guys are like legitimately famous. And I was like, yeah, but it's kind of weird to say.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you have millions and millions of followers, it's like, I guess, yeah, we are, but we're just normal people. Like nothing in our lives has changed aside from having more time freedom.
Yeah.
Like we're still the same people. And so they're always like, wait, that means we're famous because we're in some of the YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you are. And his name's Canyon. And he's like, I'm also famous because of the Grand Canyon. I go, yeah, sure you are,
like,
buddy.
dude, yeah. You also own Mathews now.
Yeah. Now you are the heir.
Now you're the heir to Mathews. That's another thing that's interesting to me about you guys. Like, I've again, outside of that one encounter, I mean, there's been a handful of times where it's like we're out and about and it's, some dumb redneck that's like, dude, I love your podcast. And I'm like, cool, man, thanks. So outside of like going to ATA or Western, I don't have that. Like I get to just live life. And really, I've even said like even the most famous of hunters, like could go to a Target and nobody would know them. Yeah. Like I believe fully and completely that like Michael Waddell could walk through Target and get recognized very rarely.
Yeah.
Just because in the grand scheme of reality, hunting is pretty small.
Yeah.
Super famous in the industry, but couldn't walk around a Bass Pro, but could go anywhere else,
Yeah.
Has that been a challenge? Because you market to the crowd of like everyday people at Target and Walmarts, and is that hard?
It's almost nice to be recognized out in public because we're in front of a phone screen all the time. Mm-hmm. Like we don't have coworkers. It's us. And so it's like, hey, we're actually making a difference. People are coming up saying like, hey, we're super encouraged by this. But yeah, I mean, it's everywhere now. Like restaurants, even different countries. We went to Jamaica last year. It was our first.
That's cool.
It was our first international trip since being married. And someone at the resort we were at, they were like, oh my gosh, we love you guys so much. And we're like, whoa, this is crazy. And then again at the airport on the way back, we were in the airport in Jamaica and this guy came up. He's like, dude, I just got to say, I love your content. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. And so, I mean, around town, it's every day. If we're out in public for a full day, it's probably
I'd imagine around here it's times. Even like way more saturated.
It is, but there's a lot of people that we run into here. They're like, oh my gosh, what are you doing in Springfield? And we're like, oh, we live around here.
I'm dropping my kids off
and
at
they're
school.
Like, wait, what? You do? Oh yeah, it's the same thing with the school. Like the teachers there, they'll be like, oh, we knew that your kid went here, but like we didn't know if they'd be in our class this year or not. And I mean, so it happens all the time. Now, as a guy, I'm always thinking
Parent
security.
teacher conferences, they're like, all right, we need you to sign this, we need you to sign this, and they slide a hat in or something. You're like,
throw a hat, t-shirt.
nope, not doing it.
Yeah, I come back.
You
She's
gave
got my signature on her arm.
You gave my kid a B. You ain't getting nothing.
No, it's been cool. There's not really been any weirdos, which is good. But I did have a guy at Bass Pro one time who didn't even see me. He heard my voice from a different aisle, and he's like, dude, I knew it was the Nomadic Outdoorsman. I knew it was you. I could hear your voice. And I was like, that one was wild.
That's weird.
I'm like, I don't know how many people, even like, say Donald Trump is talking in the next aisle, you know his voice.
Right.
But like, even people that I listen to on podcasts all the time,
I don't know that
I'm
I
like,
would either.
I don't know that I'd recognize it.
The biggest compliment I ever got, and this was back in the bear archery days, I was at a show and this guy was like, talking to me and he's like, honey, this is, and she just goes, I already know who that is. I'm tired of that voice. And I'm like, thank you. Like,
Thank you
that
so
means
much.
so much to me. That you're tired of hearing me.
Yep.
No, that's, so walk me through, man. Like, what was the progression like of Dan and Sam into the Nomadic Outdoorsman?
So we had started, we are Dan and Sam just because my wife was doing surrogacy. I was doing, and then we started an RV renovation business. And so we were doing both those things. She was documenting everything. And then I was like, man, I really want to start a podcast. And one day she finally just flat out said, you either need to shut up about it or do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. So I started the podcast. At that point, we didn't make any money from social media. I think our first item that we got was a dehumidifier.
Nice.
And I was like, wait a minute, we can get free stuff? Like, this is awesome. And I quickly realized we can't pay our bills with couches and dehumidifiers. And so, we just kept building it and growing it and kind of figured out the ins and outs of it. My wife is just a workhorse. She's always go, go, go. And so she was tracking algorithms and figuring out best time of day to post, exactly how many seconds the video needs to be to get the most amount of views. And so I stopped playing dumb video games on my phone. And instead of playing that, I'd just be responding to every single comment, responding to every single message. And we did that until we just couldn't handle it anymore. And at that point we were making money, stopped the RV company and went into it full time.
How long ago did you guys take it full time?
I think probably 4.5 years ago now. So it's been a hot minute. Like, it still seems weird to say that, but
do you follow Skylar Bradley at all? He dresses up in the deer costumes and does the stupid little skits. The only reason I ask you this is because you said you work with your hands, and Skylar was a construction guy before he quit. And he was like, people don't understand like the mental toll like it takes on somebody to be like, okay, I went from being a nitty gritty blue collar guy to now I'm sitting here making videos.
Yeah.
And like it took a mental toll on me. He's like, I felt like I wasn't working, like
Yep.
making more money than I ever have, but like I almost feel guilty about it. Was there ever that for you of like, and I need to be out working,
Yeah. I get that all the time. Like, I have to have some type of physical like escape or release to go and do something, to feel like I'm building something or creating something, because like we create stuff all the time. I mean, we are creators.
Right.
And it just doesn't give you that satisfaction of like a good hard day's work.
Right.
And so like we just got done last summer, or I guess last spring, we completely redid our backyard, like every inch of it.
It was beautiful, by the way. I saw.
Thanks.
Saw it.
It's super awesome. But I had my buddy, he came over with his whole crew and they were the ones working. And so on the day that they were tearing down the fence, I went out there and I was busting out slats on the fence, picking up piles of stuff, moving it over to their dumpster or their dump trailer. And my wife's like, what are you doing? Like, we're paying them to do this. I'm like, I need this.
I just need,
I just need to come out here and do it. And so it's kind of cool because now, I mean, when I want to build something, I build something for the kids.
Yeah.
Like we did a whole play set downstairs. Like she's got her own like 2-story area. He's got his own little 2-story area with monkey bars and a rock climbing wall. And so like I'll do projects like that. And that's kind of my
Or you build the church.
Yeah, or an entire church.
Yeah.
That was another one. But those days, it was like really good to just be there,
Yeah.
like knocking down walls, building walls, like putting things up. And so it's fun to have those projects every now and then. And even when my buddies, like, we've got a really close group of guys that get together every Thursday night. Well, somebody will be like, hey, I'm putting an office in my shop for my business. And so then we go over there and we build his office. So I don't have a shortage of projects that I can be doing. I'm trying to do more here. I want to build a shop, like a big shop, and we'll see if that happens. But to answer your question, yeah, it's definitely a mental toll, and trying to figure out, like, what am I doing? Like, am I contributing? Right. And it's just a different form, like encouraging people or showing people real life. I mean, we do the highs and lows of life. We used to see people all the time, and it was like, oh, they're on vacation again. Oh, they're doing this again. And it almost makes you feel like you're not important, or like life isn't going good. And we never wanted that. We're like, hey, when Sam's crying, there's times where I like pull out the camera and I'm like, she's either going to take this phone and hit me with it, or she's just going to,
accept it.
We're going to have a conversation, a real conversation, and we're going to post it so that people can understand, like, hey, life, we still struggle. I still have to wheel my trash dumpsters down to the end of the driveway.
Right.
Like, we're normal people.
Which I appreciate, because so many people try to just pretend like life is perfect and all I do is hunt and fish. And my wife's at home cooking and taking care of the babies, and I'm just out here hunting and fishing. And it gives this false portrayal of what life is actually like. And I don't know if I can't even think of his name. This guy that he always gets home, backs into the driveway and goes outside and cooks. And
Tyler.
Tyler.
Tyler Growth Life.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I almost remember like telling my wife, like, I want that. Like, I want that. And she's like, but you got to remember, like, there's kids screaming, like there's kids yelling, I know they're portraying that in the video, but I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. But like, again, just the way that life is portrayed through social media, sometimes it's just like, it's false, like it's fake, And that big documentary not too long ago about, I shouldn't have even brought it up. Got super famous. They were in Utah, I think, got super famous vlogging. And then she like was trapping her kids in the basement and got arrested for everything.
Oh, dang. I didn't even know about that.
It was a crazy cool doc. It was like #1 on Netflix for it's still new, but again, like they portrayed this as like, man, life is perfect and everybody wants to be these guys. Like they have this perfect life. They're always on cool vacations, and and then you get to hear the interviews from the kids who are grown now, and it's like, yeah, we were portraying this life, but in all reality, like we were so broken. Like we were so broken. And then the older two siblings are hearing about like, oh, you found my kids locked in a basement, tied to a bed, like abandoned for 2 days and all this stuff. And it's like, but at the same time, they're still trying to portray this like life is perfect. We're the best mom and dad ever. And it's just like, it's sad, dude, that like we think we have to lie to people. And this is probably the weirdest Typical Sportsman podcast episode ever. But who cares? I think it's crazy to me that we have to lie to people to portray this like life that everybody else wants to have,
Yeah. And you're doing it for strangers.
Yeah.
Like it's for people who don't actually know you, who you definitely don't know. And that's the one thing we never wanted. You were talking about the best compliment you got actually at NWTF. We were walking around, one of the guys at the Glock counter stopped, or at the Glock booth. He was like, hey, just wanted to say I love your stuff. We start talking. I'm just, making jokes, being an idiot like I normally am.
Yeah.
And he goes, so it's not an act. And he just said it out of the blue. And I go, what? And he goes, it's not an act. Like, this is you guys. And I go, yeah, this is us.
Yeah.
Like, we are super, super normal people. And we don't like, there's some stuff that like, maybe I wouldn't do. I mean, I carried guns in while sweeping the roof the other day, like pretending to sneak them past my wife. Obviously that wasn't real. So like, we make fun content like that. But at the end of the day, like what you see us posting is genuine. It might be entertaining, but like it's our normal life.
Yeah.
She does give me a hard time when I bring guns home. She questions, why do you need that one? It's not just like our life is perfect all the time.
Right.
And we hope it never comes across that way. We want people to know you can have a good marriage. You can have a healthy marriage. You can spend a ton of time with your kids. You can love Jesus, but like, it's not always that. We might get done with the video and all of a sudden we're in a fight about something that I don't know what we're fighting about.
Yeah.
And that's just life.
Something you did.
Oh yeah, probably. Or didn't do.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you, what's that saying? If you want to get, something about if you never want to be right again, just get married. Yeah. That's how it goes.
That's pretty good.
All right. Let's get into the hunting of it. So walk me through that progression, dude. Like you start Nomadic Outdoorsman, grew up in Wisconsin, like you just a boy from now Missouri, you know, chasing turkeys and deer. Like how'd the progression of like going out west, shooting elk, shooting bears, like how'd that all happen?
Well, actually when I moved down here, it was 2006. And I think in 2007, I was at a Christian youth camp and I was on rec staff. So we were putting the games together, doing the competition, and all the kids, all the campers were back in bed. And he's like, dude, you want to go frog gigging?
Oh yeah, I do.
Like, what? He's like, frog gigging. I go, I don't know, sure.
I grew up in Arkansas, baby. That's a Friday night.
Dude, I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about right now, but sure, let's go do it.
Like we're going to stab frogs.
That's exactly, dude, he's got me like chest deep in the water, like grabbing frogs. And I'm like, what the heck are we doing? I mean, at one point I went to grab one and he stopped me. He goes, just get back. And I go, what? He's like, there's a cottonmouth right next to you. And I'm like, oh, I'm not a snake guy at all. And so I was like, I don't know if I like frog gigging anymore. Well, we got
the
back.
Best part, if you wait for the snake to bite the frog, then you gig it right to the head and you got the snake and the frog.
No, I'm out on that.
All right.
Yeah, I'll kill the snake for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't want the frog at that point.
Dude, I'm completely against snakes too. And it's funny because like, I don't know where my son got it from. He's not against snakes. Like, dude is like, we have a little creek out back and he's been bit, like trying to catch him. And I remember one time I was actually on a podcast and I hear screaming bloody murder. Like I think somebody's breaking into my home, killing my wife and kids, you know? Well, I guess the snake had come and got behind the trash cans. Like my wife went to move the trash can there, and it was like a little bitty, you know? And so I hear bloody murder screaming. And by the time I get up there, my son's, and he was like 4 at the time. He's like, I got it, Dad. Aren't you proud? I'm like, put it down, son. It's going to bite you, you know? Like I'm freaking out too. I don't even know where I was going with that, but
no,
yeah,
snakes.
I'm against snakes.
Snakes
too.
suck. I'll kill every one of them. But yeah, anyways, we frog gigged. I thought he was going to prank me and be like, all right, dig in, you know, like we just literally cooked him on marshmallow sticks over the fire.
Oh yeah.
And
that's not a prank, dude. That's
I thought he was going to be like, all right, man, let me know what you think. And then start laughing when I ate it. No, he started diving in and I go, wait a minute, this is real. Like we're doing this. So we did. And at that point I was like, dude, what else am I missing? It was delicious,
wasn't it?
It was so good.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, what else do I not know about that I can be doing like here in Missouri or a neighboring state? And so that got me interested in just finding out what other hunting opportunities there were, because most of my life I was a deer hunter. That was it. Like all growing up, 9 days of rifle season in Wisconsin. We all went out every single day. I didn't go to school. Like that's all we did. But then it was over and we didn't really do anything else until I think I turned 16 or 17 and I got my first bow and I started shooting every single day. So then I got into archery, but it was like still deer. It wasn't anything special. My uncle took me out duck hunting and like I enjoyed that, but like I didn't have a lot of access to it unless I was with him because my dad wasn't into it. And so once I moved down here, I was like, I just started getting in with people who were doing other stuff. We went duck hunting down on a lake close by. And that really got me kicked off with waterfowl hunting even more. And then my wife and I, we always wanted to live in Colorado. We went out there for our honeymoon, got to see elk, got to see all kinds of crazy animals. And a couple of years into marriage, we decided to move out there. So I moved out there, started hunting with my buddies out there, or newfound buddies. They invited me to elk camp. And that was like nothing I had ever seen before. Like we were working. It wasn't like, oh, you got a long hike, you know, I remember 300 yards to your deer stand. No, like your hunt doesn't start until you freeze for 45 minutes on a 4-wheeler, bomb down a mountain, up another mountain. Like it got crazy.
I remember my first elk hunt. I remember even saying it. I'm like, so what I've done my whole life isn't hunting.
Yeah.
Like I remember saying that. Like, okay, I'm hunting now.
And it's like, it's so different. Like I don't knock. It's funny because you hear people talk about how, oh, like tree stand hunters are lazy or Western hunters. Like there's all these different things that people say about a sport that they don't do.
Mhm.
But for me, I'm like, dude, I don't knock anything until I try it. Like I want to hunt deer with hounds. I think that'd be fun. I want to see what that's like. I'm not opposed to it. Any type of hunting as long as it's legal and ethical.
Yeah.
And so I want to try it all. And that's really what the podcast ended up being about. I had a lot of people who had done podcasts or were in the outdoor industry. They're like, dude, you got to pick, like, is this a whitetail podcast? And I'm like, yes, but not only.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to talk to my buddies about frog gigging and how that went. I'm going to talk to my buddies about duck hunting or about my elk trip out to Colorado or going anywhere to do any outdoor activity. And that's when things really kicked off because people enjoyed hearing about catching peacock bass in a neighborhood pond in Florida or gigging frogs or going to Alaska to moose hunt. And so it's like letting people know that there's more opportunity out there than just what they grew up with. Like you can hunt hundreds of species.
Yeah.
And I want to do it all. So,
and that's where, and I've shared this before, but you know, that was part of my reasoning for stepping away from hosting the Bear Archery podcast. Cause I'm like, all right, for 6 years, it's been nothing but archery. And I love duck hunting. I love fishing. I love shooting thermal coyotes. I love pig hunting. I love it. I love all this stuff, but I haven't got to talk about it. You know, it's always been bow hunting.
Yeah.
Now, that's a loaded thing because you still got to talk about deer, elk, bear. I mean, all that stuff. But I'm like, I want to talk about just adventures and just being a sportsman who loves to just go out and explore and do fun stuff and kayak or rock climb. Like it doesn't even have to be hunting. Like just enjoying the landscape. And it's just freed me up so much more to actually enjoy doing what I do rather than just almost, and I never hit it, but like almost keeping it separate that like, oh, I do shoot a rifle every once in a while, but oh, you work for Pope and Young, which is bow only, and you host a Bear Archery podcast. All they make is bows. Like, so it was almost like I was living this nice.
You had a secret mistress, which was gun hunting,
right? And duck hunting and thermal coyotes and coon hunting. Like that's become one of my favorite things. Going out and shooting coons. Like, but again, like you just never got to share about it or talk about it. And now it's been really cool to do that. So with frog gigging, experiencing the greatest thrill of your life, just absolutely the best thing ever is frog gigging. What else was like the Midwest? Missouri's weird. It's like Midwest South. What else was kind of those, obviously thermal coyote hunting, you just showed me all your rigs. Like what else were kind of those like, dude, I've never even thought about this. This is so dope.
Like crawdads.
Oh.
Dude, didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah.
And we were at
my boy will catch crawdads for hours.
Dude, we just went fishing yesterday, me and my son, and the water temp's so cold, nothing's biting right now. But we're sitting there and I looked at, he goes, Dad, there's a crawdad. Can I catch it? I said, you can try. Like, just be careful. We were right down below this waterfall. And I mean, it was nasty current. And so I was like, don't get too wet, you know? Well, it goes under a rock. So then he's looking for another one. And he's just up on these rocks, like trying to reach in and grab it. He goes, a huge one. I look down and I'm talking like the body on this thing was that big. Come to find out,
dude, that's a lobster.
The Whitewater River or the White River system and all the bodies of water attached to it are home to the biggest and tastiest crawfish in the Western Hemisphere.
Really?
I've got a picture from last year. He caught one and the pinchers were that long on it. No joke. It was huge. And so that's one thing that I bought after he caught that last year. I bought a ton of traps and I'm like, I'm going to start trapping it. I have to look the regs up because I never put them out, but I plan to go put them out this year because I think you can keep like 70 per person per day or something like that.
Jeez.
And so I'm like, dude, I'm going to put some traps out, especially seeing that one. I mean, that was 2.5 miles from my house.
Like, dude, we're going to have a crawfish boil that'll blow your socks off.
I know. And so like, that's one that's exciting to me. Frog gigging has become basically our biggest tradition. Like me and my buddies, we every single year, last day of January at sunset, because I don't know how it is in Arkansas. Here we actually have a season and a limit and all that stuff.
There definitely was, but as a kid, I'd never like, dude, it's one of those things.
I feel like 16 and earlier, you really shouldn't have to worry about it.
It's one of those things like I actually meant, I I was back home. I was going to there was a big buck classic I had to go to. And so I stopped at my folks' house and I'm like, I'm going to go out and frog gig. But I was like, it's not season. I'm like, season for what? He's like, frogs. And I'm like, Dad, you know how many times growing up I went out frog gigging? And like, you never told me there was a season? He's like, whatever. And I'm like,
oh, dude, there were no seasons for me. Like having a BB gun, everything was open season.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The amount
Neighbor's
of
cat, everything.
The amount of Wisconsin state birds that I killed, which is the robin, like I would have gone to prison for
Cover
life.
your mic before you say that.
Well, I think statute of limitations is passed.
You passed.
So I
We
mean,
can
that
tell all
was,
the
that
legal
was
crap we did.
almost 30 years ago. But it's like we killed everything, and my mom would find our BBs in her bird feeders. And she's like, "Are you shooting birds?" No. And she's like, "What's this?"
Nope.
I'm like, "Oh shoot, didn't think about that." But like doing that stuff, dove hunting was something that I hadn't done growing up. Dude, we got into that. That was a huge tradition for us for a long time. And then word got out about the public land that we hunted on. And like, we have people come from other states.
That's why I got to stop filming it.
Well, that was before I even did any of this stuff. I don't know who put the word out, but like one year there was like 50 or 60 trucks, like all the way down this road. And we're all hunting this tiny field, but it was lights out shooting. I'm talking limit by 8:15.
Really?
And so like we got into that for a long time. Last year I crow hunted. And I didn't realize that was a thing. You can put out an electronic call and they're really, really smart. And I had done I think it was a predator seminar at a local conservation area. This guy was putting it on. They were talking about controlling raccoons and possums and coyotes and bobcats. But he's like, one thing people don't think about is crows. Like they'll go and rob nests just like everything else will. And so he's like, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. And so we went outside. He had this owl decoy up on a tree branch, and he put out a Fox Pro or a Lucky Duck or whatever electronic call he had, turned on a crow sound. And there were 30 crows just circling within like 45 seconds to a minute. And I'm like, wait a minute, you can do this? He goes, never shoot the first one. It's a scout. It comes in, makes sure everything's good, and then it'll call and all the other ones will come. He's like, don't shoot the first one, let it come. It may fly away, but all the others will come in after. So anyways, we did that last year for the first time. And it was after a raccoon hunt. We tried to call raccoons with a call unsuccessfully. But
have you done it successfully?
Never. That was the only time I've ever tried was that day. And then I was like, let's just turn the crow call on and see what happens. Sure enough, we had like 5 different waves of crows that day.
How many did you shoot?
I don't know, 9 or 10 maybe. It was just like we'd shoot the low ones and all the other ones would learn. But then we just switched from like a crow distress to a crow hawk fight, and they'd all come back. But every time they stayed higher and higher, or they'd perch in a tree farther away. And so it was like, I could see it being the type of thing where you could just kill dozens of crows.
Yeah.
But anyways, I got super excited about that. And
dude,
but the raccoon hunting,
you've got to give it. You've got to get like you. Oh my gosh, dude! Like
we should have planned that out. We should have planned just an in the field podcast, and you could show me how to actually.
You just hear squalling and.
Oh man,
dude! It like, especially for somebody who has gotten addicted to thermal coyotes, like. I think it's more exciting than coyote hunting.
Really?
Like,
are you doing it at night?
Daytime.
Okay.
Easier
I was going to say, we
daytime.
can't do it at night.
Easier to do it in the daytime. You'll call more coons in the daytime. But dude, the way they come in so fiercely and ferociously, like you just, and they're running through the woods. Like, dude, it is cool. I actually had a buddy. I wasn't there for this, but I had a buddy, and he showed me the picture. He's got his 2 boys out front near the call, and he's like, trying to get them to shoot coons. And he's like, there's this coon barreling down the tree I'm sitting on. And he's like, I'm thinking like it's going to turn and go towards the call, and the boys are going to shoot. It's going to be epic. So I get my phone out, whatever. He's like, and it keeps coming like at me. And he's like, so finally I just have to put the barrel of my gun down and just, and he shot it like 3 feet from him.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
Just, you can see him in the picture. He's like this, and it's laying right here, and the barrel of the gun just right in front of his face. And I'm just like, what?
Oh,
like, dude, they are insane little critters.
I would like to successfully do it. We thought we found a tree that they'd end up in. And so that's just where we went. I was like, let's go do this. And then we heard crows, and I was like, hey, I heard at this seminar, you can do this. So we switched over and just haven't tried it again. But all the time because I watch it on my phone, and then the algorithm pushes more and more. Dude, I see those like river bottom hunts for raccoons, and they come flying across or they come swimming across the river.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I shoot raccoons anytime I can.
Yeah.
But actually hunting for them, it typically happens when I'm hunting something else.
Right. I thought I was going to get that. They, last time we were hunting, I see this coon running across the river. Like you could tell it getting fired up at the call. And I'm like, dude, he's about to swim across the river. It's going to be so cool. And they didn't. But I'm like, I've always wanted to shoot one, like come out of the river, come up barrel and just wet and mad and shoot it. It didn't happen though.
I just got a new 22 mag, and I'm like, that's going to be my little raccoon gun.
Yeah.
We did it down in Texas, my buddy's grandpa's ranch years and years ago. He's like, dude, we go out and shoot raccoons off the deer feeders all the time. And so we went out, dude, we had piles of raccoons, jackrabbits, everything. And I was like, man, this is a ton of fun. But to actually call them and have them run in, like, I want to experience that.
And I've tried to tell people all the time, like, you want to make a real difference in your bird populations, shoot raccoons.
Oh yeah.
And actually Kansas just opened it up year-round thermal coyotes, or I'm sorry, thermal raccoons.
That's sweet.
Because our turkeys have just taken such a toll.
I wish they would do that here.
Your turkey population's great, dude. I've seen like 56 birds.
Dude, I can show you. I bet you they're all over my cameras right now that the rain stopped. I've got so many birds out here, like at the properties that I hunt, just turkeys. I suck at turkey hunting. I don't call very well, but I kill turkeys every year and big birds. And so
you let me know when to come back. We'll
dude,
shoot birds.
you come back anytime. I think they just increased the price. It's like, I think it's almost $400 for a turkey license.
Jiminy Christmas. But literally, like Bass Pro, the base camp was what, maybe 15 miles.
Yeah.
And I literally saw probably 50 birds between Bass Pro and your house. I'm like,
yeah.
Good Lord.
Yep. They're out in the yard all the time. Like the deer and I've seen big toms run across the yard multiple times, but I had a buck last year that destroyed on the right side of the house. I've got 100-yard archery range, and it came through and it took out every single target: an elk target, 3 whitetail targets. The only thing it didn't touch was the third scale moose, but it shredded. I'm talking like head and antlers over here, body over here. And I'm like, I'm out of city limits, so I could technically shoot that thing if I saw it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Did you put a silencer on the 22 mag?
I've got a silencer for it. I keep bouncing it back and forth. I've got it on a pistol right now, and that's like my coyote finisher.
I got fired up. The reason I ask is because on our last coon hunt, my buddy had a 22 that was canned, and it's just like, dude. He was chasing this coon come in, winded us and circled around. So he's chasing it. So he gets like 100 yards from me, and I literally had to go, did he just shoot it? Like, yeah, you just hear, and I'm like, did he just shoot it? I'm like, I got to get a can 22 now.
Dude, they're so sweet. We were at the Delta Waterfowl Banquet, and I picked up it was a voucher for a can. But picked up a voucher for that. I think I've got 4 cans now, but that 22 pistol, I got it, and like 3 weeks later, I killed my first animal with it, and it was a whitetail. Now, people are going to be like, that's super illegal. You can't do that. It would be, but it was a neighbor. They were working on, or a landscape crew was working on their house. And the landscape crew got there, found this deer hung up in a fence that clearly wasn't going to make it. So they called conservation, and conservation was like, put it out of its misery.
Yeah.
And so I was like, so I get a call from my buddy who knows the landscape crew, and he's like, hey dude, any chance you could come help me with something? He's like, what should we use? I've got a 9mm. And I'm like, no, dude, this is like in a neighborhood, out of city limits, but in a neighborhood still.
It's so funny, people who don't understand.
No. Like, but I literally walked up, I just pulled it out of my chest rig, walked right up to the deer, and the landscape crew came over. They're like, so how are you guys going to kill that thing? I'm like,
I already did.
That's already taken care of. And they're like, wait, what? We didn't even hear it. But my suppressor is as long as my pistol is. So
it's just been like, dude, I went down there and I choked it out. We're good.
Rear naked choke.
Yeah, dude. But it's funny when people don't understand that. Like the church I was youth pastoring at is right in the middle of town. Like you go out of the parking lot, you're pulling into Dollar General. There's a car dealership, right? I mean, just 50 yards from the church. We leave church one night. And it was a Wednesday night, and so like I get out of youth group and I hear some commotion, and I like walk out there. I'm like, what's going on? Like somebody hit a coyote running across the road, and it's crawled under these cars. And they're like, would you kill it? And I'm like, with what? Like, what do you want me to do? Shoot a gun? Like, it's under your car.
You just bite it.
It's one of those.
Under the neck.
It's one of those. I'm like, dude, you played in the dryer as a kid, didn't you? But it's like, dude, no matter which direction I shoot it, like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, just call the stinking animal control. They'll come out and dispatch it. But it's funny when people don't understand.
No.
Like, they're like, oh, there's a bunch of pigeons in the awning under the church. Come shoot them. And I'm like, and put holes in the church? Like, bullets keep flying, right?
Yep.
Stinking idiots.
People don't get it. But I mean, that's the reality of people moving out of city limits.
Mm-hmm.
Like this neighborhood's a great example of it.
How many
There's
California
so many
people you got?
animals. Oh, dude. They're moving in like crazy. They're just paying cash for these houses.
Dude.
We're trying to get friends into our neighborhood and they can't because like they'll put a bid in or an offer in on a house and then somebody from California pays cash, no contingency, full asking price. And I'm like, man, it sucks.
Dude, I saw somebody in a shirt the other day at Walmart and just said, nobody cares you're from California. And I'm like, I need that shirt.
Dude, they all come and they're like, just moved here from California. We're like,
great.
can you get a return flight, please?
I don't believe many people from my church listen to this, but if you do, I've had several people join that have moved from California. Love you guys. I do care you're from California. No, dude. Have you gotten into upland bird hunting at all?
I did.
Is there upland? Do you have a lot of like quail and pheasant around here?
No,
Okay.
we don't really have any
Okay.
wild. The predators are just too much. Like the hawks, everything kills them. So, growing up in Wisconsin, one of the valleys that I grew up hunting, they stocked with pheasants. Pheasants Forever did, and so we would go out, but like it was a couple times we tried it, and me and my brother and my cousins were the bird dogs. Like we would just walk through and try, and we never shot anything. Like we would go do it, and
like Joe Dirt,
dude, exactly right. But my dad and my uncle, they'd be sitting there, and like we wouldn't even hear them fire a shot. We knew there were birds because we'd see them all the time, but it's like trying to kick them up as kids, it's impossible. So last year I went on my first pheasant hunt, and right away we got back to the lodge, and I asked the guy, I was like, how much for one of your dogs? Like, I need to get into this.
dude.
And then we just went to another one in Western Kansas, and it was just
Was that
lights out.
I just heard when I pulled in, there was a dog barking. Did you get a bird dog?
So I've got a duck dog.
Gotcha.
He's my shed hunter and waterfowl dog. But
Gotcha.
my wife, she can't stand having a dog because like, she's like, I hear his nails on the hardwood floor. Like he just follows me around. I'm like, yeah, he's a good dog. Like he doesn't get into anything. He doesn't chew on anything he's not supposed to. He's fully trained. Like he's a great dog. But whenever she's overwhelmed with anything, it's just like, just get away from me.
You know
And
how,
so I don't think, unless we moved farther out and it was just like an outside, like kept it in the kennel, or I guess I could keep a dog out here.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could totally see myself getting a couple upland dogs.
do you know how you know that your dog loves you more than your wife?
How?
If you lock them both in the trunk of your car for 3 or 4 hours, come back. One will be happy to see you, one won't.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
No, dude, I say that because like it's so true, dude. Like growing up in Arkansas, I never ran bird dogs, like duck dogs, yeah, but like we never upland hunted.
Yeah.
And the first time I go to Kansas, I was 15. I actually do remember it. And I'll tell you why I remember it in a minute. But I was 15, and like we go out there and we're pheasant hunting, and I just look at my dad. I'm like, dude, I need one of these dogs. Like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Seeing the way these dogs work this field, like, is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so on my 16th birthday, my dad, I wake up and I already had a car, so it wasn't what I was expecting. He's like, I have a surprise for you. And I'm like, all right, like, what is it? And he's like, we gotta go down to the church. He was a pastor as well. He's like, we gotta go down to the church. And I'm like, what kind of surprise for me could you have at the church? I'm like, Dad, you didn't want me to mow the yard. I'm not mowing the church, dude. And we get like, we're pulling in, and he's like, I just want you to know. And I'm like, yeah, what? He's like, this dog's dad. And I'm like, what? He's like, this dog's dad was on the cover of Field and Stream. He's like, but the guy gave it to me for free. So he's like, I'm sure that like, I'm just trying to prep you. Like if it might be missing a leg or something. Like, because these are very hybrid dogs. And I'm like, are you serious right now, Dad? And out jumps the prettiest Brittany I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, dude.
And I felt like I love that dog to death, dude. And I, it's so bad. Talking about why it's not liking dogs. I was on a bear hunt in Idaho and 10 days backcountry, like she can't text me. She can't call me. Like, I have no idea what's going on at home. And I get home and I'm like, where's Daisy? And she's like, oh, Daisy got out. And I'm like, what do you mean she got out? And she's like, she got out. And I went and got her from the kennel. And I'm like, okay, like, so where is she? And we had a baby and she was like, you know, seemed like 10 months pregnant, but 7 months pregnant. So about to pop and like, she's like, well, got out again. And I didn't have it in me. I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, they called me and said they found it again. They found her again, but they have a home that wants her. So I'm like, just let her take them. And I'm like,
she gave away your dog.
I'm like, sweetheart, I love that dog a lot longer than I loved you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. It was heartbreaking. So now I got to get new bird dogs.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've dealt with a lot. I couldn't, if I showed up and my dog was gone, I mean, it's till death do us part, but
in the state of Kansas, it is legal to beat your wife with a stick 10 inches or shorter. I'm just kidding. No, yeah, that was, but I have a buddy, dude, you got to call him. He raises, he breeds and trains like bad to the bone bird dogs. And so I've been talking with him a lot. I'm like, oh man, dude, I'm getting ready. Like I want one.
Dude, seeing all those. So when we went last year, my first time officially pheasant hunting behind dogs, it was a pastor from town and his dad. They brought their dogs out, and they were like, they did the job, but like compared to what I experienced in Western Kansas, it was night and day. Like this guy
was that an outfitted hunt?
Yeah, it was like a pretty big mix of wild versus planted birds. I think he said you have to release like 2.5 birds for every one you take or something like that. Anyways, he was running 4 pointers and a lab. And so the pointers would all point, the lab would go and flush, the lab would retrieve, the pointers would go and work again. And I'm like, this is it. So I need 5 dogs. Like I'm just going in my head, like, what all do I need to get? But it also made me think I've gotten really into shed hunting. And it's one of my favorite things to do. But I'm like, the athleticism of those pointers and the nose on them, it'd be so sick to have 5 of them go out west. And it's just like, they're just doing their thing the whole time. But instead of training them on birds, it's all on sheds.
It's funny that you say that because like I was asking that guy, like his name's John. I was asking him, I'm like, John, I want a dog. Like, and I understand a really good bird dog, but I want a dog that I can take out bird hunting, but I can also take it shed hunting, but it's also a family dog. Like, and I'm like, is that even possible? Because, a lot of those dogs, like they don't leave their kennel. It's like, it's like, don't take my dog out of its kennel unless it's time to hunt.
Yeah. It's only, and I'm like, it's a tool.
Right. And I'm like, I don't want that. Like I want the kids to be able to I want it to be around the kids. Like I don't want it to live that, not that I'm against that type of life for a dog, but like for me with 3 young kids, I'm like, I don't want them to see the dog in the kennel and not be able to play with it. Like, and he's like, oh yeah. And he's like naming off. He's like, well, if I'm going just a bird dog, I would go this. If I'm going, and so I'm like, these dog guys, like they know, like, okay, this dog can function as this and this. This dog can function as this and this. It's not as high strung, so it'd be good around the kids. It's like these dogs don't turn off their hunting switch, so like you could never get it out around the kids. And I'm like, dude, like, and then I had this guy on the podcast not too long ago, blew my mind. His name's Tyler Sladen. He's a falconer,
dude.
So, but he tells me this story. Like the falcon stories are crazy in and of themselves. But he tells a story of this guy that like gets a bird on point and like realizes something happened and like the guy's falcon couldn't do it. He's like, I'll run home and get my falcon. So I left the dog on point, went and got my falcon, drove the 15 minutes home, got the bird, drove the 15 minutes back, hiked back in, unhooded it, flushed the bird, killed it. He's like, that dog stayed on point for 35 minutes. And I'm just like,
my gosh.
What? Like, that is insane.
Dude, those pointers, man, they're just different animals. Now, I'll come back to the falcon stuff, but have you heard of the Versatile Hunting Dog Association? I think that's what it might be like Versatile Sporting Dog or something.
No.
But it's basically there's a bunch of guys who are in the same boat. They're like, man, I want a dog that will blood track. It'll shed hunt. It will waterfowl. It will upland. And so now there's actually a pretty large community of people who are training these dogs for 4 different types of hunting. That's
cool.
And I mean, I think you can find trainers and stuff now, and they're figuring out what dog is good to actually not just like be adequate for all of these, but to excel at
to be good at all of them.
Now, you're not going to be able to compete with it.
Right.
You're not going to be able to run like major hunt tests or trial, maybe a hunt test, but like it's never going to meddle in waterfowl stuff. But like it could be a really good dog for everything. And so that's where I'm like,
what breed?
That's what I want.
Do you know what
next.
breed they're kind of
I think there's a bunch of different ones actually. Like most dogs, like you can train them for a lot of different things.
It's not a Frenchie. I've checked.
No, yeah, probably not a Frenchie, probably not a Dalmatian. But I feel like a lot of the labs you can get into all sorts of different stuff because they've got the nose, they've got the temperament, to be able to switch. Like my dog, I mean,
what kind of dog is yours?
He's an English lab.
Okay.
And he got professionally trained down in Texas for waterfowl, but I just work with him on sheds. And like I started out just playing fetch with a shed, and it's like he got used to that smell, and I would just say, find the shed, find the shed, find the shed. And he would go and do it. And now I'll put him all over the yard, and I'll just send him out and say, find the shed. And I'll walk around with him, and he just runs around until he grabs one, brings it back. I send him again, and he goes and looks. And so the biggest thing with a dog that has like wants to succeed for him, if I went out shed hunting, we're not finding, 5 sheds in an area the size of my yard. And so he's kind of a soft dog. Like he gets like almost depressed that we're not doing anything. Right. And so I think it'd be difficult for him to be I think he'd lose interest after.
You just got to plant sheds in the wild.
I know. That's what I do bring him with. I'll throw one out when he's not paying attention. He'll be like searching a creek bottom, and I'll chuck it somewhere else just so that he can find something and feel like
I'll never. My dad was watching my son. I had to go somewhere, and my dad's like, "You want to go out shed hunting, buddy?" And I'm like, "Oh, he would love that." And so I remember he calls me. He's like, "Dad, we found 7 sheds," and I'm like, "What? Like with your old pawpaw?" He's like, "And 2 dinosaur bones and 4 crystals." And I'm like, "Okay, so pop planted stuff. Gotcha. Okay, makes sense now."
That's so good.
And but it's great for kids. And I'm like,
you have to keep them engaged. Yeah. I mean, I totally get that. Like with my kids, they're both getting into different things now. And like my son, he's so on the go that he's like, if we don't shoot something immediately, he's losing interest. I took him to public land last year. We were out for the weekend, side by siding, trail riding, camping, and I had seen a bunch of deer, like buck sign, like really good buck sign, out on this trail that it didn't look like anybody had ridden in months. And we end up hitting a dead end, turning around, and I look over, and here's a doe just standing broadside at like 110 yards in the woods. And I'm like, dude, she's acting funny enough. I bet there's a buck hot on her. Sure enough, the kids wanted to see how close they could get to this deer. So we start walking out. She takes off. Boom. Here's this buck 20 yards behind her. Well, it dawned on me like youth season starts tomorrow. So I came back home, grabbed an orange, grabbed a rifle, went back. Next morning, we got up super early, drove back to that spot, went and sat. Dude, I've never done this in my life, even on private. I rattled in 3 bucks in 45 minutes, and my son couldn't find them in the scope. Oh. I mean, it's like thick woods, rolling hills in the Ozark Mountains. Yeah. And he's like trying to find it. And so like I grab the tripod, I get on it, and I'm like, all right, bud, go ahead and look. But even when I was looking at it, I'm like, dude, it's just so like, he can't, like, it just blends in perfectly. But I left it right on the vitals, and I'm like, how much can I assist him right now? Because like I'm tempted to just have him like pull the trigger while I'm staring through the scope. But
dude, I had a buddy get a big ticket. I had to go to court. It blows my mind because I'm like, he tried to do everything so legal.
Yeah.
But his daughter shoots a buck or a doe, I think. Either way, during youth season only, and like they drag it out or whatever. And he's like, there was a game warden sitting there. He's like, I heard 2 shots though. And he's like, oh, I had to dispatch it. It was still alive when we got there. And he's like, so you killed the deer? And he's like, well, my daughter had shot it and it was laying there. And so I dispatched it with my pistol. And he's like, you can't do that, sir. And he gives him a big ticket. It has to go to court, like
What?
everything. And he's like, so you would rather me, like, my daughter was in the blind, but like you wanted me to leave this deer suffering to walk back, get her, walk back. Like, it would have taken us 30 minutes? No, but like, why not dispatch the deer as quickly and as effectively as possible? And he's like, well, it's youth season. You're not allowed to shoot it.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, man. Like, there's so many people out there that are knowingly and actively doing stuff illegal and breaking the law and poaching and night hunting. And you get onto the dad trying to get his daughter his first deer and he has to dispatch it. Like, first off, I don't know that I would want, this sounds bad, I don't know that I would want my kid to see that yet. Like, to see that gritty of the hunting process yet. Like, especially a little girl. Like my son, he would sing and love it. He's like,
it's one thing shooting something and watching it run off and die, but being that
to be right there,
to it,
100%.
It's like that's something you have to work your way into and fully explain.
100%.
Yeah, I look at it and I'm like, what's the heart behind the law? You know, like at the end of the day, we want to ethically take animals. We don't want them to suffer. So like, yeah, it's not legal for you to go out and hunt a deer right now. But if you're dispatching it, I feel like
and
9 out of 10
behind the action. You know what I mean?
I think 9 out of 10 wardens would be like, dude, I get it.
Right.
Okay. No big, just be smart about it. You know, like maybe not do that. But to just straight up write a ticket. Like I've had a lot of encounters with game wardens and they've all been positive except for one. And I'm like, and it wasn't even for me, it was for my uncle. And it was just like, dude, why are you being like this? It was more of a power trip. But that's not the experience I have 99% of the time.
Right. Yeah. The only negative experience I've ever had, I was a high schooler and shoot this deer or no. Sorry. And we were duck hunting and on public ground, shoot a limit. We come out, there's a game warden standing there. And I was with a pretty distinguished doctor, a buddy of my dad's. My dad was not a waterfowler. So I would just go out with his friends and, but he's a pretty distinguished doctor in the area. So we come out and the game wardens, hey boys, good job, congratulations. Even asking the doctors, the doctor's asking him like, hey man, how's your dad? You know, like, did that work? You know, how's it? You know, just checking, like, just making small talk. We talked to him for probably 35, 40 minutes, and then he's finally like, well, you know, I got to check your equipment, boys. You know, and so he checks all. I was like, you guys are good, man. You know. And then he goes, man, limited ducks on public ground, you know? And we're like, yeah, dude, it was a good morning. And he's like, who shot the first one? And I was like 15, 16. And I'm like, I did, man. Like, dude, I blasted him. He's like, that was 4 minutes before legal shooting light. Slides me a ticket. And I'm like,
man.
And even the doctor's like, you're joking, right? Bill, whatever his name was, you're kidding, right? He's like, dude, like it's not like we're out here. You know what I mean? And it's just like, why though? You're like, why do that? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I get it to an extent, but man, it's just rough.
Yeah. I don't want to harp on fishing game because like they really do a great job.
100%. You're right.
But there's a bad apple every now and then.
Yeah.
And it's annoying. We ran into some guys down in Texas. My buddy, we were hunting one of my buddy's family ranches. Well, you can shoot 2 bucks and we go out there. You can shoot 2 bucks and 3 does even as a non-resident. Then you can also get a mule deer buck and a doe. And
Jiminy Christmas.
Oh yeah, dude, it was insane.
Drop me a pin to that place.
Yeah, we didn't see any muleys, didn't see any elk. You can shoot as many of those as you want because they're non-resident or they're non-natives, so they consider them invasive in Texas.
Oh, okay. No, you can shoot anything,
dude. You can thermal hunt elk in Texas. You can nilgai, aoudad, axe. I mean, like so many things. So we go down there. Well, we don't see really anything except for whitetail.
Right.
But there's whitetail everywhere. And we're in the desert. Like I would never think that deer could exist here and not only exist, but thrive. Like there are deer everywhere. So anyways, in, I think it was 3 days, 5 of us got 2 bucks. Well, one of the 5, he shot 1 because he had already killed one earlier in the season. Anyways, my buddy shoots 2 bucks. They go out and they're like, we're just going to go out and fill all 3 doe tags tomorrow. So they go out and here come these does. So they get into him, start shooting. One of them had spikes and he didn't realize it. I mean, they're shooting at 400 yards.
Yeah.
And he doesn't realize it. Well, he self-report. We look up the law because I was like, in a lot of places, they have to be 3 inches or longer, or like there's certain length requirements.
Polished or yeah.
No, dude, not in Texas. If it's breaking the skin and it's bone, it's an antlered deer. So anyways, he self-reports right away. And these, we're like away from civilization. We're like 30 miles from the Mexican border. And these 2 wardens come all the way out to this ranch, way down this dirt road. And they pull up and he ends up showing them the deer. They check all of our stuff. And they're like, dude, we get it.
Yeah.
They're like,
well, if you're going to have a law that strict, you have to
They wrote him a warning.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, we get it.
Right.
Now, if we had come here and there's 6 points on it and it's like above the ears.
Like, that's 140-inch buck.
Yeah. They're like, you can't hide. Like, you can't pretend.
Yeah.
Like, you just didn't wait long enough to identify your target.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, at almost any distance, it would be easy to miss a couple spikes. And so anyways, they let it, not only did they not write him a ticket, they only wrote him a warning, but they also let him keep the deer. And I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like, these guys are great. And then I said, hey, any chance you could just put him in cuffs for me just for a picture? And they did. They pressed him up against the vehicle, put him in cuffs. He goes, just don't post anything that has my face or my name on it. And I was like, okay, sweet. It was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
You mentioned something just now that my buddy, I just told you we celebrated 1 year at the church. So we did a big concert, and one of the band members that came in, we were talking, and he hunts aoudad in Texas a lot. And he's like, dude, it is the greatest, like, outside of spending $70,000 to go shoot a sheep.
Yeah.
It is so incredibly challenging. Like, you are going to absolutely work your tail off.
Yep.
In sheepish country. Like, he's like, it's insanely fun. And now I'm fired up to go aoudad hunting in Texas.
Dude.
You ever done it?
I haven't. Well, I mean, we were ready for it. He had aoudad on camera. That's the other crazy thing. He had aoudad on camera. He had a black bear hanging from his tripod, literally hanging from the basket underneath his feeder. And it was trying to get into the feeder. And I'm like, dude, you have black bear.
So you were like West Texas.
Yeah, we were way out in the desert. But he's like, dude, we have everything out here. And he said that some of the neighboring ranches had been seeing elk every now and then. And so he's like, dude, there's a chance when we're thermal hunting at night, we see an elk. And he's like, and if we do, you can legally shoot as many of them as you want. And I'm like, you know how sick that would be to shoot? Yeah. And that's now you talk to an archery elk hunter, and that's the worst thing that you could ever do. But I'm like, dude, it's fully within the rules.
The law. Yeah.
I would never be the guy who, I mean, even if we saw 3, I'm going to shoot one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my goal isn't just to kill everything all the time. Like,
just
I want to be sporting about it. Yeah. I'm like, no, with pheasants, with ducks, like, I'll shoot as many as I legally can. But dude, I'm not going to wipe out a micro herd of elk in Texas just because I'm bloodthirsty.
Right.
But, like, dude, you better believe I'm going to shoot one. If there's
Maybe
6 or
2
7 of them, I'm shooting 2 of them for sure.
Yeah.
But if I see 3, like, I'll shoot one of them, let the other ones walk. Because he's like, dude, we're just now getting them here. And they're coming up from Mexico. And I'm like, dude, Mexican elk, man.
Dude, this was a Mexican elk 10 minutes ago. Like,
yeah,
absolutely.
Dude, for real. So anyways, I've fallen in love with Texas hunting. Like, his place was low fence, but it was 4,500 acres. And it's like, dude, these animals can go wherever they want, but they're on feeders. So like, you're shooting, even if you're not hunting the feeder, like, we were up on canyon walls, and we were just overlooking this giant valley. It was kind of like Western hunting. And it was like, dude, you might see a deer at 100 yards, or you might see one at 500 yards. But it's like, you're up on this canyon wall and you're shooting. So,
dude, I almost had a cool opportunity. My buddy backed out. I was going on a hunt with some NFL guys, and they were like, "Oh, I think we're gonna go down to Colt McCoy. I think we're gonna go into his ranch in Texas." And I know you said you're not a college athlete guy, but Colt McCoy is like the king of Texas football. And so, and he's like, "I need you to understand something. In Texas, like, Colt McCoy gets the yes. Like, there's no question about it." And so he's like, we're just going to go have a free for all, dude. And I'm just like, yes. Like, I'm just thinking, like, I'm like, how many arrows you bringing? 74? Like, dude, I'm just going to start launching them, dude. Anyways, it didn't happen. But yeah, I stinking love hunting in Texas, dude. It's unreal. It's like a different planet.
It's free. Like, I mean, they try to be as free as possible down there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about it.
Yeah,
like
there's no laws in Texas.
If I didn't live here, I'd live in Texas, guaranteed. And there's pigs down there, man.
Yeah.
Like we really don't have. There's some in Missouri, but like.
Isn't it illegal to kill pigs in Missouri? No, it's illegal to sell pig hunts in Missouri.
Well, it's illegal to kill pigs on public land in Missouri.
Okay.
You can hunt them on private with written permission from the landowner.
Okay.
But you cannot shoot them day or night on public land.
I've got a buddy who runs a deer outfit in Pierce City, which it's a little bitty. You probably don't even know where that's at. Monette area.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I passed on the way here, so it made me think of it. And he runs a deer outfit, and I'm like, dude, like, can I smoke pigs if they come by? He's like, nope, you cannot. Because you've paid me, you cannot shoot pigs.
Dang.
Because they're trying not to commercialize pig hunting.
Yeah.
So people don't trap them and bring them in.
Yep.
But in Kansas, it's illegal to shoot pigs, period. Like, if you see them on your ground, you cannot shoot them.
Even on private.
Reason being their thought process behind it, which it's obviously worked. We don't have pigs. But their thought process behind it is if you shoot at a sonder of pigs, say it's 10 pigs, well, now they're going to split up. You got 2 groups of 10. They're continuing to multiply. So you've got 2 groups of 20, and then somebody else shoots at them. Now we got a group of 20 and 2 groups of 10, and they're just going to split them up more and break them up more.
So I kind of get that, but also pigs are very social animals.
Mm-hmm.
Like they will split up, but they're going to find other pigs as much as they can. Like we raised pigs for a little while just north of town, and then my buddy wanted one. He was going to raise it, fatten it up, and butcher it. Well, putting one pig in a pen by itself, it will get out no matter what. Dude, you could have concrete poured underneath, like it's going to find a way to get out. And sure enough, it got out 2 days in a row. Luckily, we got it back both times. As soon as we put another pig in that pen with it, it never escaped. And so I'm like, dude, they're social. So I get, like, you don't want them dispersing all over the place, but also, like, dude, you give me a thermal and you have 10 pigs out in a field in Kansas, I'm going to find a way to kill every one of them.
Yeah. And I would agree, especially in Kansas. That was my thought. I'm like, you can see forever.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm just going to chase them down, and wherever they go, we'll just go chase them, continuing to kill them.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I guess to an extent it's worked because we don't have pigs, but like you're supposed to call them in. They'll come in with choppers and take care of them.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I guess to an extent it has worked, but I do think, I don't know. I'm torn on the way that states manage pigs, just because there really is no perfect answer.
Yeah.
There always is going to be. But then you look at Texas and Oklahoma and places that have made it just, go kill the pigs, have fun with it.
Yeah.
Now people are trapping them, bringing in, and you got just massive pig problems. So
I've never talked to anybody. I mean, I guarantee you go talk to farmers, they hate the pigs.
Mm-hmm.
But talking to anybody else, I'm like, is it ruining your deer hunting? No. Okay. Is it like if you could snap your fingers and all the pigs be gone, would you? No. They're like, it's way too fun.
I would say, though, in states like Kansas, I do believe it's like maybe even more vitally important. The county I live in actually is the wheat capital of the world. You let 30 pigs go on a wheat field for the night.
Yeah. No.
You won't have any wheat, corn, Milo, anything. Like they'll just destroy it. So if they did get out of hand, I mean, you're taking massive crop damage.
I think any state that doesn't have a serious pig problem right now needs to do it the way that they're, like here in Missouri, they're pairing thermal drones with helicopter shooters.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're sending thermal drones up, finding the sounders, and then they're sending helicopter gunners in, and they're wiping them all out. And I actually just talked to one of the guys who runs the thermal drones, and he's like, dude, we will have 100% eradication in Missouri. Now, we don't have that many pigs already, but he's like, we're going to get to the point where we have 0. Problem is, if Arkansas doesn't do the same thing, if Oklahoma doesn't do the same thing, like they're going to move back in,
continue to spread,
and they're just going to continue to do the same. Like they're going to continue to get out and shoot them from the air, which is effective. Now, Texas, you'll never get full eradication.
No,
literally any place with a big established population, You won't. Even the guys, my buddy runs a helicopter outfit down in Texas. And he's like, dude, they're killing 15,000 pigs a year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like,
and you don't notice.
He's like, we're slowing the growth. That's it. Like, we're not like, we kill them all on somebody's big ranch. Every single pig's dead. Next year, they'll all be right back.
Well, especially it doesn't help that you've got guys traveling to trap pigs and bring them back and let them go so they can continue to sell hunts.
Yeah.
Like you said, I mean, you're never going to get rid of it.
It's a huge industry. It's a multi-million-dollar industry. So it's
Yeah.
like, as long as you can figure out a way to manage it and not destroy ag fields. I mean, they're going to do it anyways, but like you go out with thermals, you can put a hurting on pigs with 4 guys. With ARs and thermals.
That was my first ever thermal experience was pigs. And it's like, wait, we're going to do what? And you're like, yeah, you're going to shoot them through thermal scopes. And I remember like walking up to this pig and I'm just like looking at it through the scope as we're walking. And I'm like, how far? And he's like, 12 yards. And I'm like, what?
I know they look so far away.
I'm like, that's like 200 yards. Like 12 yards. And so I was like, I'm like, crap, I didn't know I was that close.
Dude, and calling them with electronic calls.
I've never done that.
Dude, you talk about raccoons and how they respond.
I can imagine.
Dude, I'll show you a video once we're done. You throw an electronic call out there with a piglet squeal, and those sows, they come flying. I mean, they're running. Just,
dude,
and it's like, dude, you're just waiting. You're waiting. The first time, I think that was my first thermal pig hunt. We had done the helicopter deal that day. Flew around, killed a ton. I think we killed 150 pigs and 13 coyotes. And then he's like, dude, tonight let's go out thermal hunting. Well, some guys were up from Louisiana that were hunting. I think there was a guy from Idaho that was down. And so a lot of these guys are kitted out. I mean, like we're riding roads with no headlights on. I'm in the back seat. They've got full NVG setups. Mm-hmm. I've got nothing. So I'm literally sitting there. We're flying down these roads and I'm like, I can't see anything. Yeah. We're going to die. Well, we get out there and they're like, dude, pigs. So we get out of the truck. We go out we're climbing up on circle pivots. There's 4 guys with guns out front. And dude, it was just insane. Just
how long ago was that?
Pigs. A couple of years, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Maybe.
I mean, the reason I ask is just because like, it's crazy to see the advancements in thermal technology.
Oh yeah.
Like what used to cost $40,000, you know, I can pick up for $5,000 and like be shooting coyotes, pigs.
Dude,
like,
I have more money in thermal stuff now than I have in any other hunting stuff. Like,
good for you.
I just keep on
living life.
So hooked on it. I wish I had pigs closer that I could just go and kill.
Have you seen that new, which if any of my board members from Pope and Young are listening to this, I'm not saying I advocate for it. Have you seen that new thermal mounted bow sight?
Yes, I have. They just released that at SHOT this year, didn't they?
Yeah, ATA and SHOT. Yeah. Yep. I mean, I saw it at ATA. I didn't go to SHOT, but yeah, dude. Which is going to be a problem for Pope and Young, but still cool for pig hunters and stuff like that.
Oh, dude. I mean, if you're shooting pigs and coyotes, like I really don't care.
Yeah.
Like anything like that. Now, I understand why you don't want to do it for like trophy animals or like actual game animals.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that was I think I sent it to like 5 different buddies. Dude, check this out. Like all the guys. I don't know. I really want to. Why wouldn't you? I really want. Well, because where we're like, I think it's a really great idea.
Just
for
buy
pigs.
Sam a new necklace, and then you buy a new thermal bow scope.
Well, I don't have a problem. Like she's on board with me buying whatever I want for hunting. But
good for you.
The question is, will I actually? Like, what am I going to do with it unless I do go down to Texas?
I do understand
and it's like, even shooting pigs with bows, I'm like, I would much rather shoot them with guns because you can kill more of them faster.
I do, yeah.
So,
I mean, that does make sense.
But
what's your favorite thermal setup you have right now?
So I've got Browning 22-250. It's a Browning Hell's Canyon. And then I'm running the Knock Pix 1280 scope on it. And
that's your favorite?
It's lethal. I bought a 22 Creedmoor, which I love, but I just have an older scope. It's not the Savage. What's the Ruger American 2?
Dude, that right now, I actually tried to get one And there's the 22 Creed is so hard to get in an American Gen 2 right now.
I went to the gun shop to get a 22 ARC, and he's like, "Oh, we don't have any 22 ARCs." He's like, "I do have a 22 Creed." He's like, "You want to look at it?" And it was in that Ruger American 2.
It's a pretty sick setup, dude.
It is. I mean, I wish obviously it's a cheap rifle. Like they make, I mean, it shoots great. The accuracy, I've never found a gun for that price point that shoots that accurately.
I tell people
it's
all the
lights
time.
out, but the bolt sticks a little bit. You know, like it's just not as smooth as some of my other rifles.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've got no complaints. Now, my buddies who have used it, because I keep buying thermals, and like, because my buddies don't have them, and I'm like, I like to hunt with people, and so like I've got 3 full setups now that the guys will come out. Well, I think one of my buddies and my brother both used that gun, and both of them did the same thing because it's the 2-stage safety.
Yeah.
You click it 1 click and you can operate the bolt. It's still safe. 2 clicks is fire. Both of them, they flip it forward, go to pull, nothing. And they're like, "Dude, what the heck?" I go, "All the way." And they're like, thumb goes all the way forward, and they're like,
I just built a 6 Creedmoor in the American Gen 2. And I just tell people, like, without spending $1,000, you can have a really good rifle.
Oh yeah.
Drop a new trigger in that mug, like you will have a really good rifle.
Dude, it shoots great. That's what I just got my pastor this year, because he got into hunting this year. And so I was like, "Dude, you need a rifle?" I was like, "Let's go. I'll get you a rifle." So we went, and he got it in 6.5. And dude, we went out, put a scope on it. He shot 3 times at 200 yards. They weren't touching, but they were real close to touching.
Yeah.
And I'm
You're
like,
sponsored
"Dude,
by Vortex
that's
too, aren't you?
No, I had a partnership with them a couple of years ago.
Okay.
But not. I've really cut back on most of my outdoor partnerships because I'm like, I want to just be out hunting.
Just do me.
Like if it's a super laid back, like no pressure. Vortex was awesome to work with. Like they were just like, "Hey, come up with a couple good ideas for podcast advertising, and you know, throw our stuff in your clips every now and then."
Dude, I absolutely like they're a sponsor of the show, and they're one of my favorite people to work with.
Oh, they're so great.
You and we don't have to get into the nitty gritty of sponsorships on this, but like they are so good to work with, dude.
Yeah.
It's like they're so laid back. It's just like, hey,
dude, going and seeing their facility, like everybody I've talked to from Vortex has been amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, it's great product. Literally, I think, I was on the phone with another guy yesterday about a potential partnership. But while I was on the phone with him, I was putting a new red dot on one rifle, a new scope on 2 different rifles, and it was all Vortex stuff that I went and picked up.
I shipped the other day. I shipped, no joke, probably like $70,000 worth of Vortex. And like, "Do you want to put insurance on it?" I'm like, "Nah, dude, you can trash it. They'll refund it. They'll replace it."
Yeah,
like,
doesn't even
what?
matter.
And I'm like, and this box is the size of your couch. No joke, probably. No, it's not that big. There's a bunch of like big scopes. I mean, it was a big, probably the size of this couch lengthwise. And they're like, you don't want to put insurance on it? I'm like, nope.
No.
Vortex gives me the insurance.
Yep. Don't even need to.
Yeah.
I mean, when they say it's literally like a hassle-free warranty, lifetime, transferable, like it doesn't matter. I'm like, it's difficult for me to tell people to go and buy.
To go any other way.
To even go and buy it. I'm like, dude, get on Facebook Marketplace, find an old beat up pair of binos that they don't even make anymore,
and send it in.
And they'll send you the newest model. And every time, I mean, I've had eye-rings break on my binos before. I've lost scope caps, and I'm like, I had to call about a different warranty thing that I broke. And I'm like, hey, also, when you send it back, could you just, like, I'll pay for the new scope caps for my rifle. And they're like,
don't worry about it.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's all part of it. And I'm like, hold on, you're just going to give that to me for free, even though I just lost it? And they're like, it's an accessory to an item that you purchased. So, and I'm like,
dude, I'm going to tattoo Vortex on my chest.
Dude, same thing with the tripod. Like, I have their nicest radiant carbon tripod, and the ball head, like, I just beat the crap out of that thing. And like one little piece, I think it was the tightening knob for adjusting, like something broke on the inside of it. Dude, they sent me the whole new ball head instead of just like replacing the one piece.
That's cool. Man.
They're phenomenal. And I'm not saying they're going to do that for everybody.
Yeah.
Like if it's easier for them to repair it, they will. But dude, they've been
Yeah.
awesome to work with, both in a partnership sense, but then also
Just as a
an
customer.
end user.
Yeah. All right. This might not be as fast paced as normal, and I might have to stop and think about some because I normally have a list of them on my phone.
Okay.
But it's time for our rapid fire questions presented by Tito Knives. I don't know if you've ever played with Tito Knives, but
No.
you will be impressed. Ultra lightweight, built for the backcountry, built tough, stay sharp. They're incredible knives. Rapid fire questions. If you could hunt any species tomorrow, tags and money or no object, what are you hunting?
Moose.
Really?
Moose
You
in
got to do
Alaska.
it.
Doesn't matter. Want to do it again? Want to successfully do it?
So you haven't been successful yet?
No, I blew my opportunity. Got real. I mean, we were within bow range. Well, I say we were as if we were stalking it. We were calling,
Yeah,
all day, and it came in to within bow range, and we never saw it, but we heard it, and we thought it was a grizzly, and so we went into pistols out mode.
Right.
Get to the vehicle. We
Try not
did,
to poop.
and when we got to the vehicle, here's a 65-inch bull running up the hill away from us. So, I want redemption. I've been on a successful moose hunt. My buddy drew one, drew Colorado, and shot. It wasn't a book moose, but it made the 1 year book.
Yeah.
So
Nice, man. You can only hunt one species the rest of your life. What are you choosing?
oh shoot, probably elk.
Really?
I think so.
Man.
I love whitetail, but elk.
See, I've
There's
always
something
worded it
about it.
as elk hunting is better than whitetail hunting. Like no argument here. However, because I live in whitetail country, I'd have to choose whitetail just because it's not like, well, then I can only go on one hunt a year. You know, maybe two. But
See,
like
the
with-
amount of money I would save, though, I could just pay for a lot more elk.
There
hunts.
you go.
I mean,
Okay.
the amount of money I spend on all the other hunting,
Okay.
I could hunt 5 different bulls every year.
Nice. That's a good way to think about it.
I don't know if that would scratch my hunting itch for the year, but
It's
like,
a good way
yeah,
to think about it.
I'd have a really hard time giving up elk.
I'll just go down to Texas with a thermal, shoot 9 of them.
That's very true.
What's your favorite trophy? And we're in your trophy room. This is not all of them. But what is your single favorite trophy?
Oh, shoot. Oh, that's a tough one. Probably my elk, my biggest elk. Now I shot my first elk with a bow this year. DIY public land. First time ever archery elk hunting.
Where at?
Colorado. Called it in, taught myself how to call. I'm very, very proud of that elk. But my
As you should be.
my big bull, it's got to be that one. I'm talking with my taxidermist about buying a cape and having him shoulder mount it because it's just €1 right now.
Just do a full body in here.
Dude, man, I want
Have
to
it
do
straddling the couch.
something. See, if I have a big shop, maybe I'll do that. But
Dude,
I
do
want a pedestal mount like right here.
Do you follow Alan Bolin?
Maybe.
You need to.
I'd have to see. I'm
First
so
and
bad
foremost,
with names.
you need
that-
to. He hosts the Hoyt podcast.
Okay.
But he is probably one of the baddest hunters on planet Earth. It doesn't kill a lot because he's so selective.
Yeah.
But like, dude, like, you know, he's the type of guy, like he'll go on 5 sheep hunts and pass up 40 legal rams because he's looking for a new world record.
Yeah.
Like, very selective.
Dang.
And he's killed lots of new world records because of it. But dude, his thinking, that's why I asked if you followed him, because he's been doing this trophy room tour, and it's just like this massive shop, and it's just like full-size grizzly, full-size moose, and it's just like, what in the world, dude? Like, I want to be you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Yeah. It's funny because like these are pictures for me, you
Mhm.
know, it's a physical picture that I can actually like look and show people.
100%.
But I think about it quite a bit. Like when I'm gone, these mean nothing to anybody else.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of wild to like put all this time and energy into it. And like, don't get me wrong, I'll never stop hunting, but I think about that and I'm like, man, all of these memories, all these things.
It'll just
Now,
be gone.
the podcast will be out there forever. So a lot of the stories of them are out there and people can listen to it 100 years from now. But yeah, as far as the trophy side of things go, that big bull I think just the way it all played out, like we started the day off with 4 guys going out, and one guy was like, I'm done doing all this work, and he left. And I was like, dude, take somebody with you. Like, we're miles deep.
Yeah.
Like, you need to take somebody back with you. So he did. Me and another guy said, I'm going to kill. Actually, the night before that hunt, we were sitting around, and I don't know if it was on a podcast, if we had recorded one or not, but we were sitting around talking about our plans for the next day, because we have a big, big elk camp. I'm talking like some years it's 20 people.
Yeah.
And I was asking everybody's plans for the day, and they were like, what about you? I said, I'm going to go kill the biggest bull I've ever killed. And they were like, oh, ha, ha. Well, that's the mindset I have every day for every single hunt. I'm setting out to do this. It might not work, but I'm going to go into it with mindset that it's going to work, because I'm going to be more in tune. I'm going to be more, I'm just going to be paying attention a lot more, and I'm going to work harder. And so we get way back. And typically when I go out there, it's second rifle season. And so we don't hear a lot of bugles. But this day we got back there, we found about 75 elk, and saw a smaller bull, legal, but I just didn't like, I wanted a big bull. And we keep hearing this bugle. And I told my buddy, I said, dude, I need eyes on it at the very least. And as we're talking, I'm glassing up this bedded bull. It's in, there's 3 big pines, and then this bull is just bedded down. Well, as I'm looking at it, I just see through these branches, I see a whale tail disappear behind these branches. And I was like, that's him. He goes, what? I go, I don't know how big he is, but the whale tail was big enough that I was like, I'm getting to the top of this mountain, and I'm going to kill that bull. If I can get within 800 yards, I'm killing that bull. So anyways, I booked it up this mountain, set my stuff up. As I'm like getting ready, I had adjusted my scope already, and he's coming up. I go, dude, get down. He's right here. And I think he was 634 yards, and him and that other bull were standing. The smaller bull was in front. They were facing to my left, broadside on this opposing mountain. And I just laid down, settled in, squeezed. He buckled, racked another round, squeezed, and he just folded. Like when I first shot, I saw the impact, and I saw his back just go like this, like hunch over. And so I was like, I'm going to put one more in him. And he just dropped in his tracks. The other bull stood there, never even ran. And I go, you want to shoot that one? He's like, dude, there's no way we're packing 2 bulls out of here. So anyways, yeah, just the determination of that.
Nice.
I had him stay up on the mountain. And I was like, dude, you just stay up here. I might have to have you flag me to where it is, because I had to go about 500 yards down a ridge the opposite direction just to get to a spot that I could actually navigate down, and then up this creek bottom, and then up. And had a mountain lion sit. I don't know how far it was. I just knew there was a feeling. I stopped dead in my tracks, and I'm like, something's wrong. And I like spin in a circle.
Dude, that's so eerie.
Spin in a circle, and I'm solo out here.
Yeah.
I always have a pistol on my bino harness. Didn't have that on me. Left it in a side-by-side for whatever reason, just probably in the rush of things. And then I left my rifle on top because I didn't need it, because I had filled my tag. And so I literally had nothing but a pocket knife, and I'm standing there, don't see anything, but I've got this feeling. So I pull out my knife, and I just spin in a circle, trying to figure out what it is that's got me so spooked, and end up going up, processing my elk as much as I could before dark. And I came back down, and right where I had spun in a circle, I could see my boot prints in the snow. There's fresh mountain lion tracks right across. And I'm like, never again will I forget my pistol. But anyways, a bunch of the guys from camp came out the next morning.
Oh my God.
Helped me pack it out. And yeah.
Jiminy Christmas. All right. Whitetail hunting, early or late season?
Early season.
Oh, that's the worst. Morning or evening?
Evening.
Okay. I agree with you there. Single most haunting miss of your lifetime?
Wisconsin public land float in archery hunt. And it was early October. The bucks were fully rutting, like nothing I'd ever seen. October 8th, I heard 2 bucks fighting to the death. And I'm on a tiny, tiny hardwood island in the middle of a 70-acre cattail swamp. And I told everybody at camp, I was like, dude, these bucks are battling to the death. And I'm not leaving that island until I kill that buck, whatever, but one of those 2 bucks.
Thinking just going in like naked and afraid.
Yeah, dude. I said, they all like to bounce around.
Like, why are you taking your pants off? It's going to get weird.
Just cause.
Yeah.
I want him to know exactly who he's messing with.
Who's the mature buck in the area?
So I end up going back day after day, saw a big mature buck chasing a doe the next night, like 3 minutes after legal light ended. And came in. I mean, dude, he's doing tending grunts the whole time, just rah, 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 as he's chasing her right underneath our tree. Finally get out there, and my buddy Clifton, he's a huge public land hunter, kills a lot of mature deer. He's like, dude, I will rattle as hard as I can from opening day of season till the last day of season. He's like, because I want the bully buck to come in, and they will, even if it's not the rut. Like, they want to know who's out here fighting. So I did that, and I rattled this buck in, big chocolate rack 10 point. I go to draw back. One thing I'll never do again is hang a grunt tube on my bow hanger, because I drew, this buck is at 40 yards broadside, stopped, fully unaware that I'm there. It just stopped naturally in this 20-yard shooting window that I had. Stopped all on its own. I draw back, and I go to get on him, and the grunt tube gets caught on my sight.
Oh, no.
So my cameraman's in the tree, and he's waiting for me to shoot. And I'm like, literally like trying to just shake it off because I'm at full draw. Finally, I get it off as the buck starts stepping, and it's about to get behind a tree, and I have to, so I send it. Well, I was talking to a guy, and I had never done this before, but he said he always dials his sight to 3 yards less than what the deer is. And that's how he compensates for the drop. He's like, at any distance, when it drops, it'll be right there. So I do. The buck dropped perfectly into it. My problem is, instead of aiming center mass, I aimed right for the pocket, wanted a heart shot. When it did, it essentially pinched that arrow on entry. When it dropped to sprint to load up, pinched that arrow. I thought I heart punched it, and it ran off. Looking back at the footage, I can see that arrow just wheeling like this. Oh. And so tracked that deer, jumped it. Didn't track it that night, tracked it the next day, jumped it. Called in a dog. Lady came in with a dog, tracked it again. She said it's still alive. Went back in the next day by myself, just dumping rain, nasty storm, and floated in these white caps on this lake in Wisconsin. And I get to where we left it the night before, and I walk in with my bow, and I bump it out of the cattails. And so I'm like, at this point, it's going to survive. So I actually called her and paid her to go back and check for it again 2 weeks later to do a mortality track on it. And she's like, nope, it's still alive. She's like, that deer's going to survive. So I went back there that year for rifle season, shot a different mature buck opening day. And I heard another gunshot. I didn't even know anybody was on the island. I walk over there, and they killed that buck. So I got to lay hands on it, got to see the injury. It essentially went right through the tricep, and like
Pinched
I said,
off.
it pinched.
Yeah.
It never fully broke through like you could see where it broke the skin, but it never made it into the chest cavity. So yeah, that one.
Oh,
that's the first time I've ever had to leave a deer overnight. First deer I've ever, aside from the first buck I shot as a 12-year-old kid, the first doe I shot as a 12-year-old kid. That's the only deer I've ever lost.
Oh,
so.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yep.
Do you pee from your tree?
Yes.
100%. You've got to.
Yeah.
It actually helps you, not hurt you, for those listening. All right. You've got to take a dump. But it's prime time rut, baby. Sun setting. If you climb down, you're going to miss. Do you aerial dump or do you climb down?
Oh, I'd aerial dump.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'd have to get creative because I started saddle hunting.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'd
Hunting in
figure
the
it
old
out.
tree diaper, huh?
I'd figure it out.
That'd be cool.
It'd probably be more comfortable.
You could probably make a game out of it. Like, never mind. Let's not get nasty with it. See, I'm trying to think of some of my normal questions because I don't have the list. What I normally ask. Oh, if you could share camp with anyone tomorrow, dead or alive, who would you share camp with?
My buddy Sean. He's a guy that I've hunted with probably like 6 years now, but he got me into a lot of stuff. He works hard. He's the difference between a hunter and a killer. Like when I go out with him, I know we're bringing something back.
Yeah.
And I'm not trashing on anybody else, but I do hunt with other guys that just don't have that mindset.
Oh,
and
dude.
there's a few that do. And
You hunt with somebody like that, it makes you realize some things. Like,
yeah,
I got the immense amount of pleasure to share camp with Chuck Adams in Oklahoma, and like you realize like you're so successful because you have a different switch. Like you have a different mindset than anybody else. Like it's not like let's get back to camp, sit around and play poker. It's let's get back to camp and continue looking at trail camera pictures and scouting and mapping. And it's like, dude, it's 10:30. Like we just want to sit and hang out. It's like nope. They have a different mentality.
Yeah, it's like, dude, if I'm on a hunting trip, like I killed that big bull that I told you about. I killed that the first day of season. I didn't spend a single morning sleeping in. I went out there. We got 7 bulls at camp. 5 of them were first time elk killers.
Nice.
And I said, dude, I got my bull, but I'm here to hunt. Like, I could hang out and drink and play cards and do whatever, sleep in. But I was up as early as anybody every single morning. Yeah. And I was going out and finding elk for them because that's how I'm wired, you know? Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. There's days where I don't want to get up and go get in the tree stand. But like, if I'm away, I think the biggest thing is if I'm away from my family, I want it to be worth it. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be away from my family and be like, oh, it was great. We just sat around camp. Yeah. Like, that's why my kids didn't get to spend the week with me. Yeah. Like, no. I will work harder when I'm away from my family. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, I would agree. TV and camp's got to be stuck on one cartoon channel, not an adult cartoon. One cartoon channel all week long at full volume. What cartoon you choosing? Hold on. So are we saying just one show? Yeah, you can't change the channel. It's stuck on that show. SpongeBob. I get that answer a lot. SpongeBob, I think, is. It would either be that or Dexter's Lab. Oh, throwing it back old school. I almost said that. Like, my first response in my mind was Dexter's Lab, and then I said SpongeBob for some reason. I hope I'm turning people onto this show. I hope. I need a sponsorship. Have you seen Grizzy and the Lemmings? Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, my kids watch it all the time. I think that would be the one for me. Zero talking. Yeah, that's why. You don't have to listen to annoying talking. It's there. Except for some reason, my mind goes logical when I watch it. I'm like, why didn't you just do this? And it drives me crazy that I'm thinking through this. I'm like, why? Dude, you just do this and the lemmings can get in. Like, this bear is driving down the mountainside in a truck with no brakes. Why doesn't he just... Yeah. I'm like, just don't do that. Like, you see the cliff? Yeah, I've been there too. Oh man, dude, I have so many of these questions. Oh, you forget toilet paper. What are you wiping with? Shirt sleeve. Mm-hmm. We just did a turkey series on the podcast. It was 5 episodes, 5 days, and Waddell was on there, and I asked him that, and he's like, I think it'd be smart if somebody developed a T-shirt that has cut lines, so it's like you got 5 dumps on this sleeve, 5 dumps on that sleeve. I'm like, dude, it's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. It's like, dude, you just rip it off and you still got to. Or just have like the knee patch deals, like on brush pants, but that you can just remove. And yeah, it would be, it depends on what hunt, but I've done it with my lens cloth before. Yeah. What is your least favorite thing to hunt? And the reason you're not going to like this. Most people are like, I like to hunt everything. Yeah, we all do. But like the one thing you went on and you're like, I'm glad I did it, but I'll never do it again. I haven't had one of those. I haven't had one that I would never do again. But my least favorite thing to hunt is turkey. It's my least favorite thing to hunt too. Yeah, it's just. It's funny that you say that because Nate Hosey, we were talking about ATA 2 years ago.
I just trashed turkey hunting on a podcast with Nate, and he's like, "Dude, I've never wanted to in my adult life fist fight somebody this bad in my life." And we were sitting across from like one of the redneck blind, like one of those big box blinds. Like, dude, I'm about to take you in that blind and just see who comes out. Yeah. I'm like, dude, turkey hunting sucks.
I almost made a shirt just for NWTF, but I was like, I wouldn't make it out alive.
You'd get mauled.
But when I interviewed Nate and Waddell, I really wanted to trash talk turkey hunting the whole time.
Do it, dude. That's what makes it golden. But no, and that's why I did this series. Because I kind of got fired up to look at it with new eyes and just like, all right, let's give it a fair chance. And so basically the series just took you from the ground up. Like, I've never turkey hunted before, teach me. And so like you've got Nate covering like all the different tactics you can use. Cause I'm like, maybe I just tried a tactic I didn't like. So teach me, all the different ways to turkey hunt. And so it really was cool, and we'll see if it works. And I truly, at the beginning of that series, I said, like, the purpose of this is for me to fall in love with it. Yeah. Will I? I don't know. I've never fallen in love with it yet. But will I? Maybe. So we're going to go out and try to kill a turkey and make a film out of it, I guess.
That'll be cool. I'm going down to Alabama this year. It'll be my first like travel to turkey hunt. And I'm excited to see how it goes.
I've never one time traveled. I've always said up to this point, and again, I'm not going to talk bad about it because I am going to give it a fair chance this spring. But I've always said I'm an opportunist turkey hunter. Like if a buddy calls me and they're like, "You want to go turkey hunt?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, let's go." Yeah. But I'm never gonna. I don't even seek out to go myself. Like,
I'll go myself, but like I've got a bunch of connections that are like, dude, come kill turkey. Come. Yeah. And I have like my cousin, he guides turkey hunts and he kills giant birds and a ton of them. And I'm like, dude, I could go and hunt with him anytime I wanted. And I just haven't. But finally this year we were at NWTF and I met some guys, really great guys. And they were like, dude, come down and turkey hunt in Alabama. I was like, all right, sure. But I always joke, I'm like, dude, turkey hunters love turkey hunting so much because they've never elk hunted. Or I'll say that if anything else in the outdoor space was open to hunt at that time, turkey hunting would not be the number 2 species.
I've got to show you a clip that made a lot of people mad. The series is going on right now. We're recording this during the time. So like today was the 3rd episode of the series. But Waddell made the statement on the podcast. He said, well, turkey, if you get good at turkey hunting, everything else will be easy for you to kill. And he's like, a turkey, elk is just a 700-pound turkey. And so I put that out as the clip, and now it's like everybody's just so fired up. Like
that's serious. That's a really serious statement, but like I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah.
I think
you're stupid, Waddell.
I think you can be really bad at turkey hunting and kill I kill turkey every year. And I am not good at calling.
No, and he did say that. Yeah. He was like, turkey is like, but when you truly understand the vocabulary and you truly understand like he did make that point. He was like, now turkey is something that you can stumble upon some birds. But when I mean like you really get good at understanding the turkey, like everything
like if you get to the point with turkey hunting that you can go to any state and successfully kill a tom, like you're probably going to be pretty good at most things.
But he even took it as far as say like, I think he said Shockey, but he was like, I remember telling Shockey one time, he's like, he didn't like, it wasn't, maybe it was. Anyway, it was one of those, Jim Shockey or Randy Newbergs or one of those guys. He's like, but I remember saying to them, you've killed all these animals everywhere in the world and you've been so incredibly successful. If I took you in Georgia and dropped you off, you could not come out with a tom. And they were just like, yes, I would. And like, he's like, it took him a few years. Like he realized like, oh, hunting in the South for turkeys is pretty different. Like it's difficult.
Dude, it's a really deep-rooted tradition down there. And that's what the guys told me. They're like, you come down here. He's like, these aren't easy birds to kill. Yeah. Like when I lived in Colorado, I drew a turkey tag and I killed one out there. And then here in Missouri, I've killed a bunch. I've never hunted. I think those are the only 2 states I've ever hunted turkey in. And it's like, maybe we do just have dumb birds here, but like I could confidently put 5 or 6 guys on a tom every single year here. Yeah. And I'm not good at turkey hunting. Yeah. But where I hunt, I know their patterns. Right. I know I can do just enough to get them interested. Like some days they're just not wanting to play ball, but then other days it's like, oh yeah, it's game over. I'm going to kill one today.
This is our not so rapid fire. It usually turns out that way.
Yeah.
I need to start calling it not so rapid fire.
There you go.
Because you want to then dissect the question and talk more about it, which is the purpose of doing rapid fire, that you don't do that. But here we are. Who's the single most? I got this idea from Kevin Hart. Who's the single most famous person in your phone that you could call right now and they'll answer?
Probably my wife.
Nice.
For
what
real.
a stud. What an answer.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, like, yeah, I've got a couple people, but she probably is known by more people than anyone else. I mean, like, we've got 100+ million view videos out there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's probably her.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, she might not answer, but I got her number.
Yeah. She's called me twice now, so she probably would.
So now
she
you're in
might not be happy.
No, what was I going to say? I just thought of something I wanted to say. Oh my gosh. It was good too. It was one of those like golden, like you just lobbed
Just
it up.
like the one nugget of wisdom.
So who was it? Who in your, and I'll tell you mine. It's funny. Mine's funny. Who is it? The one person that you got starstruck by? Like, just like, holy cow. Like, here they are. And maybe it's more than one.
So
But
Dan Johnson he's got 9 Finger Chronicles.
oh yeah. Okay.
He's got
Okay, yeah.
Sportsman's Empire. He used to be Sportsman's Nation. Yeah, he was the guy who got me into podcasting. Like, I listened to him and Mark Kenyon on Wired to Hunt all the time. And then I had him on my podcast, and I won't go back and watch that one because I'm like, I was probably an idiot.
Dude,
like, yeah.
You want to talk about being an idiot on a podcast? I had this guy building a deck for me. He's a buddy of mine, but he's building a deck for me. And he's such a nerd, dude. He's got super long hair, really goofy, just like Zach Farrenball from the Hunting Public. And he's like, oh, dude, I'm the biggest fan of him, dude. Like, I love him. Like, dude, if I ever met him, I'd probably just hug him. And I'm like, you want to come on a podcast with him? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I work for Bear Archery. Like, they're smart. Like, he pretty much got to come on if I ask him to, that type of deal. And so I just like text Zach. I'm like, you want to do a podcast tomorrow? He's like, sure. So I'm like, we're doing a podcast tomorrow at noon. He's like, what? And he just sits there. He's like, I'm your biggest fan. I'm just like, all right, cut it out, dude. This is embarrassing. But mine was funny because it was completely unbeknownst to me. Brantley Gilbert. I get a phone call from Athens, Georgia, and it does. There's no name. It's just a number, and it says Athens, Georgia. So I'm like, it's probably spam,
Yeah.
So I answer. I'm like, hello. And you're just thinking like I'm gonna blow you off, and then you just hear, hey man, it's Brantley Gilbert, and I'm just like, holy crap.
Oh,
I'm like, Chrissy.
wild.
And she's like, what? I'm like, it's Brantley Gilbert. And this was like 2 days after the All-American halftime show, Turning Point halftime show.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, I just listened to you on the Turning Point halftime
that's
show. That was
cool.
dope. But up to that point, like I really had never lost it, I don't think. But my dad lost it one time, which is funny. Because he's like, my dad's the type of dude that don't get impressed about nothing. It's like, Dad, the Razorbacks just won the championship. He's like, yeah, we'll lose next year. That type of. But I was sitting there one time, and my dad is a fangirl of Chuck Adams. Like, acts like a 12-year-old Taylor Swift fan. And I see we're coming up to a convention, so I was getting a lot of phone calls, and Chuck calls me. And so I just like answer on speaker, and I'm like, yellow. And as soon as he starts talking, my dad just like drops the remote, and he just turns and looks. And I'm like, hey, Chuck, would you mind if I'm going to put my dad on the phone real quick? He just wants to say hi. And my dad's like, oh my gosh, dude. I'm your biggest fan. He's like, when I was growing up, and they're about the same age. So it's funny that he was saying that, but he's like, I used to have posters of me. I used to want to be you, dude. And then I realized like, oh, you spent 49 days in the backcountry. Like, maybe I don't want to be you. Yeah. I was like, Dad, chill out, man. But no, it's funny, dude.
It's easy to get like caught up on stuff like that. Cause I ended up interviewing Mark Kenyon, and I got real nervous before it. Mm-hmm. And thankfully at that point I had become friends with Dan Johnson. Yeah. And he's like, dude, we're just all people. Yeah. Like, we're just people. And so anyways, Mark comes on the podcast. We're doing a video call, and he's got a mustache, and I had never seen him with a mustache. And right away I was like, whoa, dude, look at that caterpillar. And I was like, I just said that to Mark Kenyon. Oh my gosh.
It's funny you say that, because the very first time I had Fred Eichler on several times, and we had become decent friends. And we were doing a podcast, and it was like the first, like I had shaved my head for like 2 days, maybe, so I even wasn't quite used to it yet. And he answers the phone. He's just like, "What in the world happened to you?" Like, holy crap. And I'm like, "Well, Fred," and I'm like, "I heard it was getting close to whitetail season. I'm like, I heard, hair holds scent. And, I just want to be the most successful I can in the woods. So he's like, "Did you do that to your whole body?" And I'm just like, "Everything, dude, from tip to tail, buddy." And he's just like, "Good Lord."
That's so great.
Oh, man. So the one time, it's funny you mentioned that, because the one time we had Mark on, it was when Pope and Young started a podcast. We've canceled that now. But it was like so just like I almost didn't do it a justice. I kind of felt bad about the podcast, because it was like I was at my boss's house in Montana on a spring bear hunt, and my boss is good friends with the Meat Eater crew, and he hunts with them every year. And so he's like, "Let's get Mark on for the podcast." I'm like, "Okay, like when?" He's like, we'll just go down to my computer. And so there was no mics. It was just like a Zoom call where Mark answers. And I'm like, this is like the worst podcast ever. Like, we're just sitting here, me and him are side by side. He's on Zoom. And I'm like, here we are, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I kind of felt like I didn't do it justice. I'm like, we were stinging the legend on, and we're on a Zoom call, like with no mics, no lighting,
Dude, I've had so many of those. I mean, just like slowly progressing through equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had some where I'm like, dude, the audio sucked on that. I've got to try to figure out.
Or you have Nate Hosey on a podcast for 3 hours and then didn't get any audio.
Didn't record anything.
Sorry. Man, so tell us before we go, what is next for Nomadic Outdoorsman? I know you've stepped away from the podcast. What can people expect to see next?
A lot more YouTube stuff. I want to do a lot more long form hunting.
Very cool.
Yeah, I got a lot of trips that I'm hoping to do here either this year or in the next couple of years, and looking for the right fit for a videographer who's got the availability to come do it, because I can't self film. It takes away from the hunt for me. And so yeah, I'm hoping to do a lot more of that stuff. And who knows? I feel like I've made so many good connections this year that like I plan to hunt with a lot more people that I haven't before. So
very cool. I normally encourage my listeners to go follow the guest, but I would encourage you to go follow Sam, since she's the most famous person who knows.
Go follow that page, because that makes way more money than the Nomadic Outdoorsman page does.
For real though, if you are listening, like I would highly encourage you to check out Dan and Sam. It is just wholesome, clean content, which I admire. I really do. I admire folks that put out content, and I told Kendall that, like, I admire that, like, I don't have to worry about like my kids walking in and I'm watching something that I'm like, oh, hold on, I admire that. And so for real, guys, go follow. We are Dan and Sam, but also follow Nomadic Outdoorsman. Then you might get too much.
It might be over.
You might get too much, Dan. So
we've had couples that the husband has followed me for 2 years. The wife has followed Sam for 2 or 3 years.
And then they make the connection.
They finally put it together. And we have people all the time that are like, somebody's stealing your guys' content
and putting it up on this page. It's called
the Nomadic Outdoorsman. And we're like, no, that's also
us. That's us.
Like,
that's funny.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a good gun? Who doesn't love a good gun shop? Just walk in, get up on the countertop stool, and share stories with the boys. Talk guns, talk calibers, talk recent hunts. It's a good time. Gun shops are a great place to go and hang out. However, there's a couple gun shops that do it better than others. And then there's one gun shop that really stands out. Powder and String Outfitters. Yeah, I'm a little biased because it's right here in the great town of Wellington, Kansas, right here in my hometown. However, I can tell you that anybody that walks into Powder and String is basically blown away, because Powder and String Outfitters takes you back to a time where, downtown shops were experts in their trade, where a man's word was his bond. They got a creaky floor, they got rustic decor, and they've got a massive selection of guns and ammos. They're a full service gun shop. They've got an in-house hot bluing facility. They've got a full machine shop. They've got a custom legendary gun engraver. Literally, when I say legendary, Mr. Brian Strange, their hand engraver, is world class. They've got the engraver. They've got gunsmiths. They have everything that you could ever possibly dream of having in a gun shop. They're also a small town, hometown, family-owned shop where you can call and talk to the owner. Guys, they've taken that same feel, that same great gun shop feel, and made it available online, powderandstring.com. You can buy all your guns, all your ammo, all your shooting accessories right there online in the convenience of your own home. You can stand behind the people that you're supporting because the guys are phenomenal. And again, I am of the opinion that if I'm going to shop for guns and ammo, I don't want to do it at a big box store. I want to support somebody like the Powder and String staff. So guys, go check them out for all your guns, all your ammo, all your shooting accessories. They've got it. They are knowledgeable. You can call them. You can talk to somebody, figure out what you need, why you need it, how you need it. They'll take care of you. I actually just bought a new shotgun there. Bought a new A300, and the first shot out of that gun was a dead bird. That's what I'm talking about. And I got it based off their recommendation. Guys, they're phenomenal people. Somebody you can be proud of supporting. Go check them out, powderandstring.com. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Have a fantastic week. Good luck this spring, and keep the dusty side up.